Alrighty, welcome back to the BXR podcast. We are back for a honestly jam-packed episode of stuff. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. There was obviously the Xbox showcase, which is going to be the focus, I think, but also, the Ubisoft showcase, and we had Summer Games Fest, and then there was the other shows that I don't know if we'll talk about those because they kind of exist. But yeah, it was an eventful weekend. So I figured before we go ham, why don't we just go around the box, and we'll kind of quickly rate the kind of how you felt the different showcases went, including like the PlayStation one. So like if you thought like Xbox was number one, it doesn't have to be like super accurate, but Mr. Pop U2, why don't you go first?
Well, I've only watched the PlayStation showcase and the Xbox showcase, but I think I definitely put PlayStation above that for me, just because PlayStation had Marathon and Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. So I'm excited about both of those games. But yeah, Xbox didn't really have anything for me. I mean, Starfield looked cool, but everything else, I just was completely disinterested. So yeah.
That's fair.
It's because
Kevin?
it wasn't Halo 3.
If it was Halo 3 Anniversary, dude.
That'd be the best showcase of all time.
Yeah,
of course.
For sure. All right, Kevin, how would you rate them, the ones that you watched?
PlayStation's was good. Like that was a good one. I think just like a lot of yeah, like you mentioned, like that Marathon, they had like Spider-Man 2 mixed in there as well. And then you had like some new hardware, a brand new piece of hardware, even though it looks like a controller cut in half with a switch thrown together with duct tape. But I mean, it's something new to do, something new and cool to play around with. Xbox, I thought was it was good. I was kind of expecting a little bit more of like a show, kind of like how Summer Game Fest was, or like how Ubisoft did their thing, where like you had the people come out on stage, give you a little more context what you're looking at, and kind of just let you know what their mission is with the game, kind of stuff. And I feel like Xbox was kind of missing that because they just went like trailer, and then like pre-recorded talking scene with Phil Spencer kind of stuff. So I actually probably would put the presentations of like Ubisoft and PlayStation above Xbox. I'd also say, but I would say like Summer Game Fest was. I wasn't really expecting anything too crazy because it's not like E3, even though I think a lot of people were kind of building up to be like the E3 replacement. But it was, the Summer Game Fest presentation was pretty cool too, just like having like Nicolas Cage come on stage and stuff like that. And it was, being there as well was really cool. Just it was a fun presentation as well, and having the discussion with the developers, showing Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. So I mean, I think they all did a good job. It's like kind of like, I don't know, just choosing which one of your kids, I guess, is your favorite, I guess, because I thought they were all great. But I mean, some were a little bit better than others, but overall, I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, that's fair. Jared, how would you rate them?
I put PlayStation and Xbox about equal. I'd probably say Xbox just a little bit more because of Starfield, because, well, that's like my dream game. And I love Fable, and I was excited to actually see Fable. And I think it's funny that everyone thinks the girl's like a midget, and she just climbed a beanstalk in the trailer. So it's like people miss that. But if I'm going by games, yeah, I'd probably go Xbox One, PlayStation 2, Summer Game Fest 3. Like, I thought all of those did a good job. I didn't watch pretty much any of the other ones. I watched Capcom, but they just showed a bunch of trailers everyone already saw in all the other game like showcases, so it's like it felt almost pointless. But if we're going by like non-game showcases, I actually like the OTK showcase the most. I don't know if you guys have ever even checked out what they do. They started it last year, but it's about 4 hours long, and it's just indie games.
Okay.
But they bullshit around, they give each other shit, but they always give out $50,000 to like what they think the best indie game is, so they'll give 25,000 of that, and then the fans vote for another one, and that gets another 25,000. And I just think that's a really cool experience for everyone. But pretty much other than that, I don't know. Xbox was the best to me because, well, Starfield's gonna Starfield, and I don't care if it's 30 FPS. I'm excited for it, even though Final Fantasy 16 is right there as being maybe one I'm really excited for.
Actually, I will say I I will say I forgot to mention Starfield. Like that presentation for Starfield was like the best, one of the best game presentations I've ever seen. Honestly,
Yeah, well,
it was like
it's
exactly
the
what we
definition
wanted.
of not being scared to show what you have in store for
Yeah.
players.
And it was a
I
great
just
job.
hope the
Like
launch is good.
I just love like how in depth they got with the whole thing without going into like spoiler territory of anything. Which I mean, it just felt like the Starfield thing just kept going on. They're like, and we do this, and we do that. I'm like,
yeah.
there's so many times I'm like looking at these individual parts that they're showcasing. I'm like, each one of these individual parts could be a game in itself. You know?
Yeah, dude. I don't know how Starfield like exists. Like it seems like fake. But they showed us so much that I don't think it is fake. But like, if you just bullet pointed all the stuff they showed us, I would think it was like a bullshit game. Like it just it doesn't feel real.
That's the day after, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. That's
the day before. The day before.
Now that's
the
a
day
real
before. The day
game.
before.
Yeah, that's a real banger. A real good one. But okay, cool.
You can race Lambos now in the game apparently.
Yeah, I have no clue what's going on with that
That's
thing.
exactly what I want in my zombie survival game.
Bring me my Lambo.
All right, Waffle, quickly rate the
Yeah. So PlayStation would be first. That's like a good 8 out of 10. I'd say Summer Games Fest was like a second. I'd put that at like a 5 out of 10. And then the Xbox Showcase just sucked for me. I didn't like it. It was like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I would say
It sucked and I didn't like it.
Damn right.
No Halo, damn it.
Yeah.
No Halo 3 out of 10.
I feel like Xbox might have had I don't know. For me the showcase that probably had the stuff that I'll end up playing the most is probably the PlayStation showcase. But I didn't think the Xbox showcase was bad. I thought it was pretty decent, though obviously there was a notable exclusion that we'll talk about here. Actually, there was a lot of notable exclusions for me. But like there was one that everyone here is like relevant to, right?
I'd just like to point out though, quickly, I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'd
good.
just like to point out that even if Halo was there, it would still be like a 4 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I
Just
mean it would have
because,
been
like,
the trailer, right?
It would have been the trailer, and let's say it was Tatanka, then it would have been like a 10, like maybe a 6 out of 10. I still think there wasn't not anything at that showcase that got me excited, except for like one game announcement and maybe 2 trailers.
If you aren't into like long RPGs, I feel like the Xbox showcase this year was like not for you. Like
Exactly,
all the big games were like Starfield, Avowed, Fable, but even like Fable, like who the fuck knows when that's coming out. So
yeah,
like Starfield and Avowed had to like carry the showcase for you, sort of like those were like the big hitters. And if you don't like RPGs, then it's like, well, I guess you're shit out of luck. Other than like
Exactly,
smaller stuff like Payday 3 looks sick to me, but like isn't that probably on everything anyways, or is it? I didn't actually check. That might only be on.
Payday 3 is going to be on everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That was like one of the games that I was hyped for, but I already knew it was coming out.
yeah,
Same thing with the Cyberpunk DLC.
Yeah,
DLC
yeah.
Phantom
for that,
Liberty.
I already knew it was coming out.
Yeah.
The only thing that did catch my eye was the oil rig horror game. I'm for the
Oh, yeah.
title slipped
Yeah,
my
that
mind.
looked
yeah,
really
uh,
interesting.
That looks really sick.
Deep in Stillwater or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, that looked really sick, and I'm excited for.
it's
more of
called
that.
Still Wakes the Deep.
I looked into
Close
that
enough.
studio. And they actually made a game with Santa Monica Studios, the developer of God of War.
Oh,
So
okay,
They
interesting.
picked up
Nice.
good shit. They picked up good shit. So my
Gotcha.
hopes are high.
Yeah, so I'd probably go PlayStation, Xbox, Summer Games Fest, and then Ubisoft in a good old last place. Because like the Ubisoft event, man, I don't know. Like the Avatar game looks like Avatar Far Cry. The Star Wars game to me didn't look that great. Like if you're not into the Star Wars IP, like I feel like it just looks like a Ubisoft game with some Star Wars shit. So if you love Star Wars, I'm sure it'll be cool. But if you're just like middling about Star Wars, just another Ubisoft game. Well, they showed they did show the Prince of Persia like 2D platformer thing. I will say I'm kind of
does look
excited
sick.
about that.
Yeah.
That kind of looks
Yeah,
fun
that
to
looks
me.
good.
So I saw somebody tweet that runs at 60 on the Switch. So I actually might buy that on the Switch.
That's actually
Like that would
insane.
be sick.
Yeah. That's actually pretty sick. But yeah, besides that, I feel like the Assassin's Creed, I mean it looks fine.
Mirage.
It's
looks
Assassin's
good.
Creed.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
when
good.
the
The other
Assassin's
one's,
Creed part came up, I just kind of fast forwarded. I'm like, yeah, this is Assassin's Creed.
I mean, it looks exactly like you would expect Assassin's Creed
You're
to
gonna
look.
hide in
so-
a crowd and stab people.
So yeah, and then
Yeah.
X Defiant looks. I mean, like it looks cool. I did find it funny that all of their like testimonials were COD streamers. Like I
Yeah.
found that funny. Like they
Oh yeah, they got a
handpicked.
ton of
That
those
was
guys.
hilarious.
They handpicked all the COD dudes, probably on purpose. And I feel like it's they're hitting beta at like the perfect time with it. Yeah, like everyone mad at COD at the moment. But yeah, so that's kind of how I kind of ranked them. We'll get into like specific games because I feel like there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But you know, first we'll focus on the Xbox showcase first. We're only gonna go like a max of 2 hours. So if we don't get to everything, we just won't. You know, if we don't get to it, I mean, it's just not important. So you know, fuck them.
That's true.
No, I'm just
Put it on the clock.
yeah. But I figured, you know, the first thing we got to talk about, and then we'll get it out of the way, and we won't mention it afterwards. is
Oh, God.
is you know our favorite franchise? My T-shirt. It didn't even make the show. So how did we feel about good old Halo not making the Xbox showcase, but it made the Ubisoft showcase, baby? Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what I have to say to that? Screw your Halo shirt. I got a Gears shirt. Where's
That-
the Gears love?
No, it-
Halo's dead. It is a dying dog in the ditch. What about Gears? Where's the life for that?
Oh my god.
No, for sure.
Gears has been dead for a long time. People
I
forgot
like
about
to-
that game.
it's-
Since Judgment, really real.
I'd like to jump in and say, like, I see a lot of people saying that we don't need a trailer because we just had one at HCS. I don't know none of you guys here believe that, unless one of you do. But I don't know.
No,
No.
Right. I see that's like the biggest. That's the biggest like.
that's the
debate
biggest
I've-
copium possible. Is
Yeah,
what that is.
And you know, I
what's
think this comes
stupid?
down to 343 just not communicating properly. And you know, let's look at their sandbox overview that they released a couple hours ago. All it has is 2 renders of the new equipment and a couple paragraphs saying this is what it does. Go look at Rainbow Six Siege. Go look at Valorant. They all have in-depth videos that describe how operators and agents work, and they showcase new gadgets and new abilities, and they do it in a way that's interesting to the player, and also like it's more interactive and it's more pleasant to watch than reading this paragraph. And it's not that people can't read, but they don't want to. Nobody looks at this page and says, "Oh my god, there's a new Halo showcase or whatever." Like nobody says that. If there's a new like Ubisoft video saying, "Hey, look at the Siege operator," people will check that out because it's in a format people care about.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, I think we'll get like a visual trailer as we get closer to launch. I think it's more just kind of like.
But
I
that's
feel
what
like it might be kind of one of those ways when sometimes I feel like 343 over communicates on things that we don't really need to know that much about.
The
That
trailer,
being maybe
the
like-
season comes out in 8 days, though. It's not like it's like
Yeah.
a month or 2 out. Like this shit's coming out.
Oh god,
So,
you're right. Oh my god,
I-
just time is.
I-
June
Yeah, yeah,
has
yeah.
flown by for me.
No, it sneaks up on you. I agree. Because at first I was like, you know, it's a while back, but it's like next fucking week. It's like what, next Tuesday it comes
Right.
out, and
I feel-
they don't have a trailer out. There's no other live service game other than ones that shadow drop stuff that don't have a trailer out or like anything meaningful, but like more than a week out. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the shit at ACS. Yeah, we got the blog post, but like Waffle said. The people online that said we didn't need a trailer at the showcase because we had a HCS is pure fucking copium because, dude, those are 2 different audiences. The people watching the HCS event are like dudes into Halo esports. Well, sorry, not like people into Halo esports, and then fucking people there for drops, right? But they're like Halo hardcore people. Like they're people into Halo. The point of having it in the
Preaching
fucking
to the choir.
yeah, the point of having it in the showcase is to show it to like, hey, look, you guys might not have played Halo in a while, but we added Infection. Why don't you come on back? I had to watch a fucking trailer for Sea of Thieves, the new expansion. I had to watch some stupid Overwatch shit because they're adding PvE. Like, it's not like they weren't including live service. And then people are like, oh, but those live service updates are bigger, and it's like, it's a fucking live service
Hey.
update. They're the same. Like, if you
You're
want to.
adding a progression system. That seems pretty big for a lot of players.
Listen, don't worry. The season 4 trailer is coming mid-season 4. Just gotta wait.
And then there's the people saying like, "Oh, don't worry, guys, it's gonna be in the extended showcase." Like, holy fuck, just shoot me, like,
Dude,
Right?
if
Yeah.
we're wrong though, like
saw
I'll
some of that.
gladly I'll eat my shit if it's at the showcase tomorrow. I doubt it will be. I'm like 99% sure it won't be. But if it
No,
is,
it's No, there won't be anything new.
No.
I think it'd be like
Oh,
for like
have
they
they
did it last time for like the developers to sit down
Yeah,
and talk.
it,
It would be
la-
like,
It's really
last time
not
it
new?
was for
Okay.
people to expand upon, like, hey, we showed our game. Here's some shit. It's mostly like they re-show the trailer and then they talk about it, right?
Oh, so that's just straight up cope from people.
I mean,
Damn.
that's what they
Yeah.
did last time. Not saying they couldn't throw Halo in there, but like I
Oh,
doubt
no,
it.
for
I don't
sure.
know why they would.
Yeah.
Like,
That makes sense.
and even if they did, dude, it couldn't make the 2-hour fucking main show where we watch Starfield
Yeah.
for an hour. Like,
Right.
come on, it's a 2-minute
get outta
fucking
here.
trailer. Like, oh my lord. So yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
I was kind of surprised to see how many people were surprised that Halo wasn't there. Like,
I
thought
wasn't
it
surprised
was.
at all. I
Yeah, I
had
thought it
full
was
expectation of nothing to
highly
be there.
unlikely that it wasn't going to be there. At most, yeah, season 4 trailer. But even if they didn't show that, which they didn't, I wouldn't have been surprised. But I saw multiple people acting like, they were shocked that there was no Halo there. Like, I don't know why that would be a shock to you at all.
I mean, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
I was shocked. Like, I was very aware they might not show it,
Yeah.
but for me, it's more of like, dude, they don't care. Like, Xbox doesn't care.
But
Like,
I think that's been clear for like a while. Like,
yeah,
I mean, if
it's
this was
it's-
like 5 years ago, sure, yeah, maybe I'd be surprised. But at this point, no. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they never mentioned Halo again.
To me,
mean
it's more
that?
that the bar is just so low.
yeah.
The bar is just so low. It's on the ground. They'll
La-
trip over it.
Last year during the showcase, didn't we get? I swear we got like the season 2 trailer or some shit, didn't we? During the showcase, I can't remember.
No.
I don't
We
it's
did-
been
there
two-
was-
it's been 2 years we've had.
There's
zero
been no Halo?
It's-
Yeah. All right.
No Halo.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's,
All right. Well, fair enough. Any final thoughts on Halo not being there, and then we'll move on to fun stuff.
I mean,
Thank
like I
God.
said, it's all cooperative, I think, right now. For people
Thank
trying to
God.
justify it not being there. I thought it would be a great time to mention now because I think actually now would be a good time for people who like Halo, maybe haven't played it in a long time. Would be a good time for them to jump back in as like now we're kind of getting to that seasonal flow of content and stuff. Forge is up and running. We got a bunch of other features coming in. It's actually like a good time to jump back in if you like playing Halo, but they even like mention it. Not even
Yeah.
not even a hint and a nod. Nothing.
Yeah, that's definitely a great time to promote the game. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I'm also just not
I-
surprised that they didn't.
So, like, I would say I'm not surprised, right? But at the same time, like, they clearly carved out some time for live service stuff. And I wouldn't. Now, I did go and check the numbers, but, like, I wouldn't say Fallout 76 or, like, ESO are overwhelmingly stronger games than Infinite. But on Steam, they are. So I guess maybe that's the qualification. Because, like, on Xbox, Infinite, you can't get the numbers, but, like, ESO and Fallout 76 aren't even on the top 50 on the Xbox site. So, like, I have to imagine the numbers line up if you add Xbox plus PC. Because, like, yeah, ESO, like, fucking 15 times. Not really. It's like probably like 5 or 6 times Infinite on Steam, and I think Fallout 76 was like 2 or 3 times. But like if you add in the Xbox numbers, I have to imagine they're pretty close. So it's like maybe they just think those are like way bigger updates, but I don't know. I mean, I guess they did show a lot of Bethesda stuff, so maybe that was more of a Bethesda call where like Bethesda had a section of the show and they're like, "Hey, you do whatever the fuck you want with this section. This is your part of the show." And they chose to show their live service stuff. We
Yeah,
didn't
it could have
see
been that.
we didn't see Quake Champions, dude. Come on, Bethesda. Where's Quake Champions?
dude, where's Doom Eternal 2? That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh yeah, where's new id game? But
Yeah.
Where's Rage?
oh dude,
How about
Oh,
how about
dude.
Skyrim that they announced like 8 years ago and we still haven't seen anything about it?
Elder Scrolls 6.
Or Elder Scrolls, I mean,
Yeah,
Elder
yeah,
Scrolls.
yeah.
Like to me,
Yeah, we're Skyrim.
I'm a
for the
noob to the
Apple
franchise.
Goggle.
I'm a noob to that series, so I just view Elder
Kevin,
Scrolls as
we're gonna
Skyrim.
be like 40 before that shit comes out because it's gonna be after Starfield, and it's gonna have like a fucking
Oh my
7
God,
or
yeah,
8
you're
year
right.
dev cycle.
Dude,
Like,
that's
Yeah,
actually
don't
that's
forget,
like actually
Starfield has to release
that-
10 times first.
dude, when you first said, it, I'm like, haha, real funny. Now that you've said, I'm like,
no,
oh shit, you're
like
right.
legitimately, we will be 40 before it comes out. And like like
my
I saw
God.
someone in my tweet saying they were disappointed that Fallout wasn't in the showcase, like regular Fallout, not Fallout 76. I was like, dude, that's like 20 years now. That's like 15 at a minimum. That shit.
I'll be 50.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll be playing video games by the time Fallout fucking 5 comes out or whatever they call it. Like, unless
Oh
they
my
ship it
God.
to another dev, there's no shot that's coming anytime
I'm
soon.
having a midlife crisis now after hearing that. Jesus Christ.
He's like, let me get a beer.
Good for you, Kev.
It's-
Embrace.
No, I
embrace
do
it.
want to. I do want to extend on that a little bit because you mentioned how old you'll be. Like, and for me, that is a reason that it is kind of hard to get excited for certain games now because I just know how old I'll be when they come out. I mean, there's not a lot that interests me right now, but even if there was, I'd still be thinking, okay, I'm gonna be this old, I'm gonna be that. Like, so it's tough. It's tough.
I've definitely found myself being more, so I should say, less interested in just like competitive shooter stuff. And I just kind of want to just hop on and just just chill, honestly.
yeah.
Like sweating for ranks while it's still fun. It's like, well, the highest rank I've been getting in Halo is like, what, diamond? So I'm like painfully average.
Hey, you
And so-
you got to commit to the grind and you'll hit Onyx, all right? Just play
That's
it
why I'm like, thinking,
every day.
that's why I'm just like,
no breaks.
yeah.
That's it. It's
Jeez,
the
that
only
sounds
game we play.
terrible, man.
That's why I'm looking forward to Diablo 4. I'm like, I just want to chill
Yeah.
and just click
Oh,
until I
Diablo
until I
4
get
is so
until I
good.
get carpal tunnel.
You can play with the controller. You don't have to get carpal tunnel.
I actually did play Diablo 4,
Yeah.
the beta on
Yeah, and
the
it
controller.
feels
It actually
good.
plays out
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels pretty good. They did a good job when they did when they ported. Well, I don't know if it was ported or like developed at the same time, but when they moved Diablo 3 to the consoles, I feel like they actually did a really good job of moving that like style of game to console. So
Mhm.
well, let's talk about I think there's a whole bunch of stuff that we all wished was there, and we've mentioned little bits and pieces, but let's kind of save that and instead let's talk about what was there. Like, what excited you? What did we see that disappointed you, or like what do you not? What did they show that you're just like, what the fuck is this? And basically anything goes. So we can talk about Starfield first. Obviously, it's the big boy. And yeah, like I said, if you're into RPGs, like this Xbox showcase was pretty good. If you're not, it's a little bit less so. But even as someone not super into RPGs, Starfield looks pretty fucking sick. Like, you do have to be honest. The game looks really good. Even the gameplay looks pretty good. I did see that hilarious tweet that from the Xbox dude that this is going to be the least buggy Starfield or least buggy Bethesda game to ever come out. And I don't
You're
know. I don't
asking
know.
to eat your words when you say
yeah.
something
Hey.
like that.
I don't know
So,
about that.
Something funny about Starfield, and I don't know if this is true. I've been trying to find out for sure, but according to what I've heard, ID Software actually came over and helped them to make the gunplay better with Starfield.
It
Okay.
does look
Supposedly.
better.
Yeah,
Todd
let's see.
Howard, he touched on that in an interview with Ryan McCaffrey. He said
Did he?
they didn't help with them with
didn't
the
help?
gunplay.
Okay.
They helped them with the visuals actually.
Oh, okay.
He did address that.
I mean,
Very
yeah,
awesome.
that's a huge part though, of like getting like that visual sense of shooting. Like
Yeah.
screen shake and recoil patterns and whatever kind
Mm-hmm.
of stuff. Just give you that feel of shooting the gun.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, id games look sick. Like, the Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are fantastic art styles. Like, they definitely know what they're doing in that realm. So
Mhm.
I feel like they'd be pretty solid at that. But that could also explain why id hasn't really announced anything yet if they've been helping with Starfield. So that would probably
Yeah.
set back your next game if you're helping like with the fucking biggest RPG I've ever seen. So
That game is freaking insane, man. Jesus Christ.
I
But
didn't.
it should be running at 60 FPS,
Yeah.
don't you know?
yeah, well,
Yeah,
don't
sure.
you know?
Yeah, totally.
So 30 FPS on console. How do we feel about that? To be honest, when I saw that news, I kind of just like saw it and I was like, I mean, this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Like, based on the scope of the game and the fact, honestly, that's Bethesda. I was just like, this makes sense. If it's stable 30 And because it is a shooter, but it's an RPG first. Like I'm shooting will be a main focus, but it's not like you're playing a competitive multiplayer shooter at 30 FPS. Like
No.
it's more of like a chill, you're shooting some fucking AI or whatever. So like
Right.
I don't think it's the end of the world. It is a bummer, no doubt. I mean, for me, it makes it like the premier place to play is PC, but also they're setting themselves up for the good old 10 re-releases on whatever the fuck the next console is. So it'll be 60 FPS on the Xbox Series XX, and then the Triple X will be 120 FPS.
The Triple X, I mean, that might be NSFW.
When it comes to 30 FPS, like I'm not one of those people that are gonna act like it's the end of the world. It's unplayable. I can absolutely enjoy a 30 FPS game, but at the same time, it is 2023, so it is kind of weird. But again, the game is very ambitious, so it's a weird one. But yeah, I don't think 30 FPS is the end of the world. I remember Destiny 1 being 30 FPS, and I forgot that was 30 FPS some of the time when I was playing it. Like it wasn't that big of a deal to me.
That
one,
multiplayer
like,
in it.
The reason like they're doing 30 because Todd Howard mentioned in that interview like they had the game
so like
running
the
it.
environments, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
the
he said
pop-ups and stuff, they didn't want that.
Yeah, he wanted the visuals to be consistent and players to have a good experience. I don't remember exactly what he said, but like a lot of people would prefer less visual fidelity and 60 FPS. I feel like that's a popular opinion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange that they're going for like the increased visuals at 30 FPS. I don't know.
I feel like
I kind of agree with that too. That 60 is kind of the gold standard. But again, like I said, we touched on that. Like it's a single player RPG game that doesn't really have like that. It's not the focus of the game isn't combat, and Bethesda games never really has been the focus of combat. It's always been like pretty good. It's always been like good enough, but never like fast paced and frantic. Like you're getting swarmed by a bunch of enemies. Like with like Fallout and with like Skyrim as well, that like are a lot more like 1-on-1, 2-on-1 kind of battles.
Yeah, you're not in like a Doom Eternal arena fucking fighting off like a horde of demons at 30 FPS, right? But I will say, I feel like, and it probably got cut for like time restraints, but I feel like an option should have been there, like 30 with pretty graphics, 60 with less graphics, because I would probably pick 60 like every day of the week in that case. So it kind of sucks that we weren't even given the option, but also like who knows, maybe it was 60 but it wasn't like super stable and they're like, we could get this to be stable but it's not worth the resources, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think it's the end of the world. I do think it's a bummer though. To be honest, it won't affect me because I don't play on console. So I won't even like a year or two from now, I won't remember that Starfield isn't 60 FPS because unless the PC port is shit, which it's Bethesda, so a 50-50 shot
Very
there.
possible.
Yeah, my biggest concern about it is not the actual locking of the frames at 30. My concern is more about what would the performance be then? Like, do you need like a 4090 to like run this game like halfway to get 60 frames?
If you go by the recommended specs, you only need like a 2080. So, I guess we'll see how it performs.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that makes me just curious about like the performance of the game, not like as in frame rate, but just like fluidity, stability, and things like that. We're like, dude, we need to cut this down to 30 just to make sure this game runs, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I think a game like that, you probably need a chunky CPU too. I don't think that's something you want to overlook.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's probably it's gonna it'll probably hit both of your all the hardware. You'll probably need a decent amount of RAM too.
I'll be like, all right, let's boot up Starfield for the first time. I'm super excited. And you hear your computer just.
And good.
Right.
Oh
Dude,
yeah, I'm 100% gonna experience that.
I
You
hope
only a space
that,
heater when you can play Starfield.
dude, I hope that Starfield sounds like. I don't know if this happens to you guys, and I'm sorry for bringing it up. But when I play Infinite and I leave the game on
he said Halo.
No, listen, and I leave the game on the menu, my CPU sounds like it's fucking going through the roof. When I play the game, it's fine, but at the menu, some shit is happening there because
It's because Infinite has like this weird CPU support thing where it only uses like one core and it'll just max out your CPU in the menu. Accelerate made a really good video on it,
Yeah.
explaining how it works. I don't really remember the basics of the explanation off my top of my head, but you need a good CPU to run Infinite, and like a 5600X or something like basic like that won't cut it. You need something with like 12 cores to like run
Yeah.
the game properly.
Well, I don't think even that because I think he showcased in that video like it only takes like this doesn't even utilize all the cores your CPU has.
Yeah,
It just
right.
leaves
yeah.
like a third of your CPU cores just not used.
Yeah.
All right,
wow.
Jared, how are we feeling about Starfield? I don't think you've talked very much.
I mean, I'm obviously excited about it. It's a Bethesda game. I love Bethesda games. Oblivion is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it looks absolutely incredible. I'm fine with the 30 FPS. It's at 4K. I mean, I don't care about 4K, and I would prefer 60 FPS, but after Tears of the Kingdom, 30 FPS, honestly, if it's smooth and it doesn't drop frames, it feels just as good to me. But I
Yeah,
don't
hopefully
know.
it's consistent.
Yeah,
'Cause once you
that's
start
the main
dipping,
thing.
once
to
you
me.
start dipping below, then it gets
Yeah.
a little weird.
Yeah, then it's bad. Like I'll take 30 that's perfect over 60 that's inconsistent. That's always dropping. So
Mhm.
I'm hopeful, but I don't really care about the gunplay because I always go melee builds in all these games. So I just hope that part of the game's good. You know, hack and slash. Don't have to worry about aiming. So I don't know. The visuals are good. I'm excited for the ship building because I feel like you can make some wacky
Yeah.
stuff with that. Like I'd hate to bring this up, but I'm gonna make a Halo ring for a
Oh,
ship
Jesus.
just so I can say there's a Halo ring.
Drink.
after its face.
Drink.
I'm disappointed in you.
I'm
Hey,
keeping a
man.
tally actually of how many times.
Actually, I
I'm
was
just
thinking
like-
about that. I was like,
In
I want
fact-
to make a pelican in Starfield.
Exactly. In fact, since you could have more than one ship, I'll have like 7 Halo rings up there. So you know we got the whole full effect going.
Oh,
I can pretend like I'm playing a good Halo game. So that's really what I'm looking forward to.
All right, so here's the big question, right? Every time a Fallout game comes out, well, not recently, but like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, there's a bajillion video essays on how like the actual choice in the game doesn't matter, right? How it's very like streamlined and stuff. Do you think like is Starfield going to be one of those games that has like a like you build your own narrative as you go and you have all these choices, or is it like a different type of RPG?
It has all the choices from everything I've seen, but will
So-
it really matter in the
that's
end?
the question. Do they matter?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how much it affects it. I mean, it kind of mattered in like New Vegas, depending on what route you went. But
Well, New Vegas is the one that
I-
people say it mattered because it was the one not made by Bethesda.
New Vegas is
So
so
that's-
good. I fucking love New Vegas.
yeah. I feel
Oh,
like
God.
most people say New Vegas is like the best one, but maybe like the least polished.
It's also the first one I play, so
Yeah.
got a special place in my heart.
I do like if you like look up like should I play New Vegas today? You'll find like a post and it's like of course, but also here's 30 mods to make the game more playable. And you're like,
Yeah,
all right,
right.
well, I guess I'll just start by downloading all of these.
The Steam Workshop, you got to do is say yes to him. You know, it makes
Yeah.
it easy.
Yeah. All
If
right.
they're on Steam Workshop, right? I don't know. Never played the game.
No, New Vegas
I'm a fake
isn't,
gamer,
isn't
basically.
isn't on Workshop. I think that's on Nexus, unless I'm wrong.
Okay, I got
I'm pretty sure. It's
yeah, I think when I
Nexus.
modded it, I downloaded everything from Nexus.
Yeah,
So
you
Yeah,
gotta
I think
love the
that's
Nexus,
fine.
like the throttling if you don't buy Nexus Premium, where it's like
oh,
you fucking can't download anything. But all right, any
Love that.
last thoughts on Starfield? We can move on to a different game.
I pray it's good for all my
Yeah.
friends. That
can
order
we
it.
romance aliens? That's the
That's
real
important.
question.
I mean, I think so. They kind of opened it up to that. Seemed like yes.
How do you guys feel about the magic powers in it?
Seems
That
cool.
was it. Yeah, right at the end,
Oh, yeah.
right? They showed like some kind of gravity force power kind of thing.
You're supposed to get them from touching like alien relics.
If
kinda
it's like
remind me of
if it's like
Shouts.
a slow cooldown ultimate ability, I'm like that would be kind of cool. Yeah, sure. It's sci-fi, you know.
I probably would. I'm not a fan, honestly. I feel like it breaks the theme, but
And there's
That's
well,
alright.
it's like there's like some ancient mystery
Yeah.
civilization that you're kind of discovering, right? You know,
Maybe-
we've seen that
maybe
trope
it'll work.
before.
maybe I just need the context, you know.
Mhm. I'm just looking forward to just like going to like I look at the star map. I'm like, let's go here and just like it because it seems like they put a big emphasis on exploration rather than like combat. It's like exploration and story seem to be the two big things with Starfield. Like they didn't really they showcased like the gunplay a little bit, but they didn't really go too much into it. They're more just kind of like the vibes, the locations, the people kind of stuff.
Can you build?
You can build bases.
But not like in Fortnite.
No, I think it's like more
Like
kind of
Halo
like Fallout
Forge.
4, kind of like Fallout 4, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know.
And then obviously you can build your ship, which I mean that's crazy. But yeah, Starfield, man. Not like I need any more reasons to play this game, and now I'm like, okay, well now I know I need to block out the first 3 months of this game being out because it's probably all I'm gonna play.
If I can't crank 90s, I don't want to play it.
That's fair. You are a Zoomer, so it's understandable.
Actually, I did play Fortnite for the first time in like 5 years. Like,
Holy shit!
the other week.
Let's go.
yeah,
What were you
because
gonna say,
my
BHP.
9-year-old
Oh.
neighbor was like, Kevin, can I play Fortnite with you? And I was like, sure. And he's like, are you streaming it right now? I'm like, no, I don't. I gotta set it up. It's like, I was basically just giving bullshit excuses because I didn't want to stream it. He's like, well, you really should stream it.
That's
Should've
amazing.
made him
that
play
you're-
Halo.
Yeah,
Dude, what if he's watching?
that's
No,
amazing
no.
that your neighbor knows that you stream, and he's like, "Dude, I want to be on the stream. I love Fortnite.
Yeah.
Fortnite."
No, it's because my wife always like goes like, Kevin is a streamer. I'm like, well,
Oh.
okay, yeah, sure, but
Dude, that's like the opposite. I hate when I'm in real life, and like my family and like stuff knows I do like YouTube and shit, and that like especially like at weddings and stuff. Every time it's like a big family gathering, I swear it's like they just all come up. They're like, "Dude, so like, tell me everything about doing YouTube stuff." I'm like, I just make videos, man. Like, I don't know. It's not.
Can we
It's not. It's not that great. I clearly have a real job still, so I'm not doing that well.
and then did they ask you? Was the second question, how do you know Kevin Coolx then as well?
Yeah.
Honestly, no one's asked that before, so I don't. I'm confused why.
Yeah, I'm really confused on that one. Yeah, because I'm kind of known. No.
to my real life family who probably haven't looked at a Halo game since Halo 3 or Reach. I think they missed the boat on the Kevin Coolx wave, unfortunately. All right, BHP, what were you gonna say? You had thoughts?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that like hopefully Starfield doesn't launch like another like No Man's Sky, because that game, that was another ambitious game with a lot of big claims, and it came out and it just wasn't it. It's much better now, of course, but hopefully they can back up what they're saying with Starfield. And it is hard to get, I mean, it is a very ambitious game. They showed a lot of cool things, but it is hard to get excited about it because just all the issues with modern gaming and broken releases and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it's kind of just like a
I've been
wait
burned
and
so
see.
many
Back
times.
in the day, we could
50-50.
back in the day you could get a video game announcements, you could see a trailer, and you could get excited. Now you gotta wait till the game's in your hands.
Very true. Very true. All right, before we move on from Starfield, let's say Starfield comes out, and I'm not gonna say it's like terrible. It's not Redfall, but it's just a average RPG. Where does the Xbox brand go from there? Is that the Death Note, or is it just like move on to the next game?
Let's just move on to the next game. They have too much money. They're never gonna die.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah.
keep making shit unless they. Yeah.
Hey,
I'm just gonna bully anyone who said they pre-ordered.
The waffle. I may or may not have the special edition.
Okay, Jared,
Yeah, didn't you buy the headset and controller?
I'm- I
Did you buy the themed hard drive that you can't actually put Starfield on?
No, I ain't buying
That's
that
funny.
shit. That's stupid.
That's so.
Wait, what?
I don't know
So-
who thought that was. Yeah,
There's
Go
like a special edition hard drive for the Xbox that you can buy that's like Starfield themed, but Starfield won't run off a hard drive. Like it has to be on the SSD. So like you could buy it for your Xbox, but like it can't have Starfield on it. Which is just kind of funny, but okay. All right, well that was obviously like the biggest part of the show. It literally was like the whole back half of the show, but there was a ton of other stuff, so I figured now we could kind of just we don't have to go through every game because there was like some smaller stuff and probably stuff that none of us care about, but we can just bring up whatever looked good, whatever floated your boat or whatever didn't. Maybe we'll talk about Fable first. I feel like
Fable.
to me, and maybe this is blasphemy, that Fable, like I'm glad they showed it because now I know it still exists, but that trailer did nothing for me. Like I saw someone saying that it showed gameplay, like half a millisecond
No one
of a
saw
dude
that.
going like that's not fucking gameplay. Like all right, like
Yeah. So this is the thing, like with Playground's games, someone said, and from everything I've seen, this is true. They've never had trailers where it didn't have actual gameplay in it. Like they've always done that. It's just how they do trailers, right? With Forza, and like the part where she's like throwing the fireball, or where she kicks the chicken, that's like at the end of a cutscene, and then it goes into gameplay. You're gonna walk forward after that. It's like all of that stuff is from actual stuff in game. Obviously, we've heard that 1,000 times, so it could be a lie. But from Playground Games' track record, they never really they don't show stuff that's not in the game. They don't really do that at all in any of their trailers. So technically, a lot of this stuff, if you go by that track record, should be in the game in one way or the other. So I guess take that at you will. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one, Arash. Like the trailer didn't really do much for me, just because like I was all kind of just CGI, maybe in-game cinematics or something like that, and had like celebrity person being cheeky in game kind of thing. I've never played a Fable game before, but apparently like it, apparently that this is more just kind of like going like, yeah, we were capturing the classic Fable vibes with like the humor and things like that. But me as someone who as an outsider to Fable, as I'm sure many people are, as it's been like what 10 plus years since the last one or something, that since I didn't really see what the game is like, that I was just like, okay, it's cool idea, but it might as well, to me, it might as well even be just like another announcement.
Yeah. Well, and they still haven't put a date on it, so like I can't imagine this is coming out next year, right? So it's probably
Yeah.
2025. You think it's coming out next
Well,
year?
I saw it. Yeah, it's gonna come out next year. From what I saw, this is pretty much guaranteed next year.
Oh, okay.
They did a trailer, then they did like this kind of trailer like they normally do, and then next year they'll show gameplay, and then they'll have a
Yeah.
release date.
Okay.
Probably
Everything
that-
that were showing
Yeah,
was like
here.
saying coming 24, fall 24 and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's fair then. I mean, that's cool. That makes me like a little bit more like excited about it if it's like actually coming sometime soon. I just for me the with the trailer like not showing like a date or anything, I just thought it was like another like, hey, this still exists. It's still a video game. But no, that's cool. If it's coming next year, like that's interesting. I hope it's good. I mean, I haven't played Fable, dude, since I was fucking young. I think it was like Fable 2 in the 360, which would have been like when? Like 2008 or 9? Like that
That's a long time.
that
ago.
was a long time ago since I've played a Fable game because I didn't play Fable 3 and then all those weird Fable spin-offs that came toward the end of the 360 like I didn't give a fuck about that. Like do you guys remember the Fable card game that came out like way
That was
after
terrible.
Fable was relevant and then it just shut down before it ever came out? I was just like, all right, like they tried to ride the Hearthstone wave, but they were too late, and they also used like the Fable IP, which not saying Fable isn't a strong IP, but like I don't think you can hop into the TC or like the CCG like that space like way after Hearthstone and compete with like the fucking Warcraft IP. Like I think that's a losing battle when you're using the Fable IP, but yeah. I don't know. All right. Any other thoughts on good old Fable?
It looks cool.
Fair.
Thanks, Waffle.
I mean, dude, I have no idea what I was looking at. I won't
Yeah,
lie.
I
I
know it's
Like,
all good.
but
That's
I'm
kinda what
like,
we're
I
talking
hope
about, yeah.
I hope it'll be cool. Like I do hope.
Yeah, I
it'll
hope it doesn't suck.
I mean, it
always
does.
awesome.
It does look like they take the fantasy genre and then have a bit of a twist on it. It doesn't seem like every other fantasy game out there. It seems like kind of like have a bit of comedy. Doesn't take a little bit of silliness mixed in with it, which is
I know.
which has been done before, right? But like
For
not
sure.
to a whole lot. So this is
I
kind of
think,
like almost like a reboot of that kind of feeling within fantasy.
Yeah.
I remember from like the OG Fable games, like all the like you could like get a wife and like do all this like weird shit. Like they were like I don't know, they were like kind of like they kind of went ham on like the relationship
Yeah,
stuff for
they did.
games way the fuck back
Well,
then.
Well, and then the morale system they had.
Oh,
was really
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
Where if you did bad things, your character would lucky evil, or
Yeah,
they'd,
and
like,
you'd
shine
start
a
turning
hero.
like red and shit when you were
Yeah.
evil. Yeah.
You're like a demon. But Fable
that's kinda
3 though,
cool.
Fable 3 sucked. I'm just gonna say that. Like to like beat the game and get the true ending, you had to like spend 40 hours collecting gold so you could basically buy the right ending. Like it was
That's
so
perfect.
stupid.
That's ideal.
No, it's not good. I mean,
Pay to win,
you know,
baby.
some-
Before it was
some
pay to win.
microtransactions, you know, let's.
So you're saying that Fable 3 was a trendsetter, basically, of a game.
So-
I mean, it's not real money, obviously. But...
So what I'm hearing is I made the right call by just accidentally not playing Fable 3.
Oh, it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you dodged the bullet.
I do like when I was working on my last video, like I was looking at like how the game's reviewed and stuff, and Fable 3 is like way worse than the first two, so that's not too surprising. And then they never made another game after, so another main
Yep.
game, so you know it lines up with what happened. Alrighty, well now we'll just basically name off whatever you guys want to talk about.
I want to talk about Flight Sim.
All right, talk about Flight Sim,
I
Kevin.
can
You're
get behind that.
I love Flight Sim, the most recent one. I thought that was an amazing game. It's the perfect game for me to play when like you ever have those moments where like you want to play games but you don't want to get like something that's too engaging, like shooters too stressful, RPG games like, well, I don't want to jump in the middle of something I don't know what I'm doing. Flight Sim's a perfect game to just kind of jump on and chill, and that's why I still have it installed to this day and will play occasionally. And though I'm kind of bummed that it's like they're announcing a new game. I thought it was just gonna be a real big update to the current one. I was gonna be like, hell yeah, that's gonna be great. But then ended up being 24 with all these cool like objectives and stuff like that added in, which almost kind of felt more like additions to the game that I feel like they probably wanted to add in the last one, but then probably just ran out of time, is my guess. But it looked awesome. I mean, the graphics were awesome as well. I mean, honestly, if it's just like the same thing as the last one, but then just with like these cool objectives and things to do in the game, I'm all for it. But I was kind of curious about the Dune tie-in. That's just like expansion for the current game?
That's for the
right?
current one, though.
Did they build like a whole new world for that or something?
No,
Or
I
are
think
they
they were
just-
just in the Sahara Desert. They,
Okay, I was
they were
thinking-
probably just in the Sahara Desert.
Okay. I haven't
yeah,
really
I
flown
think
there
it-
a whole lot. I probably
I
should
think
check
it
it
was
out.
just the actual vehicle, or like the actual aircraft. But
Okay.
I wonder, so like, will they port this into the next game, or is this just going to come out at the end of this one and then kind of be irrelevant?
I think this might be just like the last expansion, and then they just move on to the next one. Apparently, Flight Sim does pretty well for Microsoft money wise. Like people drop a lot of money for this game,
Well, that
like for
makes
all the
sense, 'cause
microtransaction stuff.
I feel like it's a very like not. I mean, you love it, Kevin. I know that because I've seen you literally stream it. But like, I feel like it's not like a really mainstream It's not like your our circle of gamer type game, but it is very much the type of game where like. Not my dad personally, but like you'll be like, oh, my dad fucking loves Flight Sim, dude. He's on it like every week, and like it's like that type of game where it reminds me of The Sims, where it has like a totally different player base than like an FPS or something like that.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like big.
Hey, Raj, like you said,
I
we're
do-
pushing 40, so I'm already
Ah,
getting
shit,
into
this
the
is
dad
us,
vibe.
dude.
that
Yeah,
Flight
this
Sim.
is us.
He just indirectly called you old. I
I
can
play
see that.
Halo, I play Flight Sim, I play Mass Effect. I got full dad vibes already.
Ironic you guys say that.
The
My
Dune
dad's like,
DLC is actually it does take place in the Dune universe.
Oh,
Oh
that's
shit! Okay.
Arcus,
sick.
so
it's in their
So, yeah.
records. Nice. It's
Yep.
funny you guys say that though. My dad's like pushing 60, 65, and he got to play Flight Sim on my computer when I had Game Pass, and he fucking loved it, dude. Because he works on like airplanes for a living. But he was like crazy for that shit for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's.
Hey,
I
man,
mean,
that's what makes Flight Sim awesome.
I will say all the like the jobs and the objectives. It looks pretty cool because like so you've played the recent one obviously like way more than I have. So what do you do in Flight Sim? Is it purely just flying around, or is there stuff to do?
There was just like the open world, kind of literally open world. Like you can go
Yeah.
anywhere in the world, and it's like real time weather, real time the day and night cycle, stuff like that, which is really cool. They use like Bing images, right, to capture the world properly. So like where you're flying over, that's what that area looks like. So it's kind of a cool, like almost like a virtual like tourism kind of thing in a way. Like, at least the vibe I kind of when I play it. But they also do have like different objective modes as well. You can jump in. They're more kind of like time routes kind of thing, kind of stuff, or like efficiency routes kind of stuff. So you can like get your flying down just right to be like a really good pilot. The last time I played it was when the last time I played it was when Top Gun Maverick came out, and it had like a DLC expansion on that where you can actually fly like the F-18 fighter jets, I think it was. and do like a lot of the similar flight patterns that they did in the movie and stuff. And
Oh,
that
that's
was
cool.
yeah, it was really fun because the whole idea was like you're trying to go from A to B as quickly as possible, but like you have to do some really cool like acrobatic maneuvers to really kind of do it right because you have to like go through like these mountain ranges and stuff like that. So it was actually like really fun. I got hooked on that for a good like month of just playing that. But
I think,
yeah, for the most part, it's just kind of chill vibes, just kind of fly around. Like, let's go see what Toronto looks like today. You know?
Yeah, I really just I love the planes too. Like all the
Mhm.
models are like scanned and then
Yeah.
imported into the game. There's only like one other game I know that's done that, and it was Ace Combat 7. And the planes in that game, like they look phenomenal. Like
Mhm.
even though they're like low poly, like everything in that game is low poly except for the planes. Like you put a plane up to another plane, it looks insanely high definition. But if you fly through the ground, like a building is like 4 pixels. It's like
Mhm.
it's funny because that's just how they get the flight combat games to
Yeah.
play, right? Because they run at like 60 frames or whatever, and they run great. But those
And it,
aviation games, they have like a special charm to them because you get to see like all like the plane manufacturers and everything, regardless of competition, they come together and they put their planes in the game. It's all it's cool.
and Flight Sim is also like it has really good like accessibility too, like where you don't have to like know like every single button to press to activate the engines and get things ready to go. You can just like press I think like A B at the same time that starts the engine. You can just go.
Oh,
So you don't
good.
have to be like you don't have to be like a pilot, but you can be like a pilot if you want to.
Yeah.
Like go through the whole procedure and stuff like that, which I always really liked about that level of detail when it comes to the game as well. But yeah, Flight Sim, don't sleep on it, man. Go for it. Go soaring.
Dude, you could be their tagline. But yeah, like, to being able to do all those jobs sounds like it's a pretty big update then for the new one. Like having all the different like different I don't know if you call them careers, but they like it had the tagline like be an aviation dude. So I don't sounds pretty cool.
That's the biggest issue with Flight Sim. It's just like sometimes you just kind of play it a bunch of times and you're like you just kind of run out of things to do rather quickly. But unless you're just like one person who just like likes to, if you unless you get really into like flying the planes, like going in depth, like flipping all the switches and going through the proper procedures. As someone who's like more casual, where I just kind of like going. But some planes I like this. I main. I'll main a plane. I guess is the way to put it.
Oh,
and figure out all the switches on how to run it. It just adds to the experience when you know how to like do that. Because then when like you land the plane, you're like, I did that all myself. Yeah, that was awesome. We didn't die.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I
I
mean,
feel like if I was
Yeah.
gonna say personally, like none of the sim games have ever really appealed to me. And when it comes to like flight sim, for me, it's like if I wanted to pilot an aircraft, I think I'd rather just do it in Battlefield so I can like fly shit and kill shit. You know what I mean?
True.
That's just me. But like you said, if you want to chill, you just play that.
Mhm.
I get that.
yeah, I mean, to me, Flight Sim always had like the same vibes as like the trucking sim games and like the farming sim games. It's just for like a different audience, right? It's like if you want to
Yeah.
fly, you play Flight Sim. If you want to drive a truck, you play Trucker Sim. So
Or
you
you
wanna
can be
drive
like
a
me
Warhol.
and play Power Wash Simulator at 5.
Hey.
hey, isn't that
Power
coming
Wash
in
Simulator is
VR?
the GOAT.
There's a VR version, and then
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a console version. That's what I played at Summer Game Fest.
Hell
You guys,
yeah, dude.
do you guys remember Goat Simulator?
Oh hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That
It
was like that was
awesome.
different though.
That was so fucking good. Like I don't know, it was just a great game. I wish we had another Goat Simulator.
You know
Well, there's a
what
second.
simulator game has more players than our favorite game?
Oh gosh, I'm afraid I know the
Oh, yeah, I
answer.
don't want to know.
Euro Truck Simulator, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. I've heard so many good things about
Yeah,
that.
actually,
game.
Farming Simulator has more players than Halo. Also,
To be fair, Farming Simulator has a more competitive pro circuit.
they
than
do.
Halo,
They have a
probably.
pro. They have an
So-
esports scene. It's
They
fucking
do.
amazing.
It's actually
Yeah.
hilarious. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's so,
So
good.
I
fucking
need to
good.
watch. I need to watch some tournaments.
Yeah, it's.
Do they have drops?
Uh,
I don't think so. I think they're just gaming. All
Just
right.
being gamers, man.
Well, we can move on to another game. How do we feel about Avowed? Obviously, that's like the other big RPG from the showcase. This one's from Obsidian, who obviously have made some very good stuff in the past. I will be honest, I had not followed the development of Avowed very much. Like, I hadn't been paying much attention other than I knew it was a thing. I didn't realize it was like this fantasy. I thought Avowed was just like Oblivion or like Skyrim, but made by Obsidian. But this is like very much its own vibe, which like I'm fine with. But I did see people actually like pretty upset by like the art style and stuff in Avowed, and I don't understand why.
Well, they're mad at the graphics, but it's like Obsidian have never been a dev team that goes out of their way to make a graphically amazing looking game. They're just worried about crafting a cool world with cool shit to do. And they even said that in an interview. They said that Avowed isn't going to be big like Skyrim. It's actually going to be smaller than
Yeah.
Skyrim. It's a little more comparable to the Outer Worlds. They wanted to scale it back and have everything you do be more impactful, have all the stories and quests you do mean a lot more, and just have a lot more depth in the environments that you go through. So, and also a lot of people said this was Vin Diesel, like voicing that guy. I don't think it is, but hey,
Oh.
you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was, you
Yeah.
think they'd advertise it pretty heavily.
Oh, for sure. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Like,
you would just
and
do that.
Avowed has
Yeah.
family.
That'd be perfect. That actually unrelated to this, but will Starfield
Yeah.
have like mod support out of the gate, or like the
I'm.
the other
I'd
Bethesda
assume so.
games? That'd be sick. But
I don't see why it wouldn't.
well, anyways, any other thoughts on Avowed? I guess I don't really have much because, like I said, I haven't followed the dev cycle of it too much, other than people. I mean, people really loved. I always mix up the names, but people really loved the Outer Worlds, right? That's the Obsidian one.
I
Outer
love that
Wilds
game.
was
Yeah,
the other
That
one.
game's awesome.
Yeah. Outer Worlds is the obscure game that's like
It's also really
one of the
good.
greatest games ever made. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
really
so
good.
fucking good. Both of those games are like insanely good to me. I don't know.
But I just looked it up. Todd Howard did confirm mod support will be for
Let's
Starfield.
go.
That's
Hell
hype.
yeah.
That's so
That's hype.
hype.
Dude, I
If
can't.
it's broken, we can fix it.
Jared, now
Yeah.
you'll be able to play as Master Chief flying your stupid Halo ship. I just want you to
Yeah.
know
Dude,
that.
I'm gonna have.
I can
the
finally
best
get some new Halo
game.
content. Thank God.
Dude, give me fucking the planet of Helios. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. By the way, drink Halo.
Oh shit.
But dude, so I clicked on an Outer Wilds video the other day that I was expecting like a review, and it was like this. It was Shammy, and it was called like a real review of Outer Wilds or whatever. And I thought it was just gonna be like his other videos, and like nah, you should watch it. Like I don't want to spoil the video because it's like his full like mental. Not breakdown, but like mental trip he had while playing this game. Like it was actually like a very different video, but it was interesting.
Yeah, that game was really good.
Never
if you
played
haven't played it, you need to play it. Like you really
Yeah, I
should.
haven't
play
either.
it.
I have
It's not-
so
it's
many
not
games to
that
play
long,
before
is it?
Starfield comes out. I'm
Yeah.
actually kind of low key stressing.
No,
because
No,
I got,
no, it's not that long.
It's not long at all.
And it
nah.
has one of the best endings ever.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. There's a stupid ending that's just phenomenal.
Because like I gotta play through Hogwarts Legacy, I gotta play through Dead Space, I gotta play through Cyberpunk, and I gotta play through Jedi Fallen Order, all within 3 months. And when Starfield comes out, because I know if I don't do it, then I'll never get back to those games.
So what I'm hearing is anytime I see you streaming Infinite, I just come bully you, right?
I mean, I finally streamed something else besides Infinite the other day.
That didn't count.
Hey,
You were
don't-
at a fucking event and you streamed Final Fantasy.
Dude, Final Fantasy was fucking sick though.
I mean, yeah. All right. Well, someone else bring up a game. What interested you from the Xbox showcase?
Perfect Dark.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
missed
yeah.
that one. That was my big. That was the thing I missed out more than Halo. Was
Isn't-
Perfect Dark.
Is that game
There's
coming
just,
out?
like-
That game's getting canceled, right? Like,
That's like one of the only games like I'm excited for, and like you just see nothing about it. Like what's going on? Like come on.
well, there was all those
I think-
stories. Didn't like the multiple of the leads for the coalition, not the
Mhm.
coalition, the initiative, right? That's the name.
Something like that.
Didn't multiple of the leads leave the studio? Like this, I think the game hasn't
Yeah,
even. It got
yeah.
announced like a few years ago, and it's already like straight
Yeah,
into dev hell.
People left and then they like broke apart the project. They restarted it, and supposedly when I last seen it updated, it's going really well apparently. So I
Okay.
guess we'll see if
good.
that's even true. I mean, I
Like-
guess we'll see a trailer next year and it comes out in 2026. I mean,
Didn't
we'll be about
Microsoft-
40 by then.
Didn't Microsoft like make some big like PR like
Said it was the
announcement saying we're
first
making it-
quadruple A game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was so stupid.
yeah.
That's goofy as fuck.
The
Was-
game-
what- did they even talk about that? in this thing?
I don't know. what
Or
the
did I
fuck
just
that
go over my
means.
head?
Like
Like, no, like,
I think
like what?
I don't know. There was some PR jargon associated to what it meant. I just don't remember what it was. It was very like bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I mean, dude, like obviously I played Perfect Dark as like a fucking child, but I was very excited for a new Perfect Dark. I feel like that could be really cool. It's like a good way to bring back like familiar IP, but basically like you almost have like free reign to do whatever you want because the gameplay's so old. Like you don't really have to worry about being that faithful to the N64 gameplay because like it was the N64. So you have like the freedom to do some like really cool stuff. So so I was excited to see it. Plus, obviously, like Perfect Dark had like cool multiplayer gameplay, for back in the day, and you know I'm a big fan of multiplayer shooters. But yeah,
You are?
I don't know.
Who'd have thought?
No one cares about.
I mean, I know you play them a lot, but are you a fan?
That's a good point. I don't even know. Do I even like games? That's who knows these days. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I hope it comes out. You said there was somewhere that said 2026, Jared.
No, I was just. I just
you're
threw
throwing
that
it out
I'm
there,
like,
okay.
that's my guess. We'll say in 2026.
Man, if you tell me 2026, I'll just forget about that game right now. Like I ain't waiting that long.
You might as well forget.
the
'cause
hell?
They
Okay.
said they're trying to release 4 AAA games a year. Well, Fable next year, Flight Sim. Well, there's already 2. Oh, Avowed comes out
Avowed.
next year, right? So there's 3. Well, it ain't
Okay,
coming out
alright,
next
well.
year.
Yeah. All right. Well, Hellblade is next year too, so that's 4. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yep. There we go. There's your 4 games. No
There-
Halo and Gears.
So yeah. All
All right.
right.
I mentioned Halo.
Yeah, jeez,
I'm
it came up
still,
again. I guess you mentioned it. We can talk about Gears. So, okay. I know like we were talking about how we didn't expect Halo, but like we weren't really disappointed. I will be honest, I thought we would see Gears shit because Gears 5 came out like
Yeah.
fucking 5 or 6 years ago. Like it should
Yep.
be time for a new Gears game. Now I do remember there was an article that the Coalition was working on something that wasn't Gears that they canceled. Or like
Right.
multiple projects, so I'm guessing that has pushed the dev cycle out. But dude, come on, like I know Gears isn't the biggest franchise in the world anymore, and they definitely have made some missteps. But like I still enjoy playing through the campaign.
Same. That's what I play for, the campaign. Like
Same.
Didn't Jez Gordon say something about the coalition having something soon? Not like anytime soon, but like soon.
I mean, I think you shared that tweet with us, right, Arash? Or somebody in the chat here shared that?
Which
I
was
don't remember.
who was saying that the Coalition had something soon?
Jez Corden.
Oh yeah, he did, yeah. But like, does that? I don't know, man. Yes, he did. Basically, Gears fans on Twitter were bitching, and he's like, "Just wait. There's cool stuff coming. You just have to be patient." And I think he like alluded that you don't have to be patient like super duper long. So let me find the exact tweet.
We're not talking like Halo timelines of patience.
No. Let me find the tweet. Give me 2 seconds. I'll pull it up on stream.
I drank again. Shit.
Can you imagine they actually dropped the Gears of War collection? Just like, oh, Shadow Drop, here you guys go. Go play it.
Dude, the Gears
Have
collection
fun.
would be sick because like half the Gears games aren't even playable on PC, which is the problem. So
I
like,
wish they did. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no. You can talk while I find this tweet.
I was gonna like completely change topics, but I wish they did more stuff like they did with Hi-Fi Rush, where they just announce a game and just release it right then and there. Like that was super hype. I missed that. I wish they'd do that more.
Yeah, I
Also,
feel like,
you can, plus you can get away with that kind of stuff, especially for like more like AA kind of games. You could definitely get away with that with
Yeah.
just shadow dropping.
For
It-
sure.
It's
To be
like honestly, when
fair-
you drag out these times, it just like kind of really actually kind of dampens the excitement of the game. They're like, fine, just get it out already.
The fanboys don't have time to fight over it.
they did
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
They did that with Apex. Respawn did that with Apex. Like, I think there was like some rumors that they were working on it, but publicly, like
Mhm.
they said nothing, and then they were just like, "Hey, trailer, hey, it's out, come play." And then obviously, like Apex kind of blew up. I can't find the Jez Corden tweet.
I found it. I sent it to you.
Oh, okay, perfect. Let me pull it up. Perfect. Okay, so this is the tweet that we're talking about. So basically someone it was Gene Parks, obviously like a big journalist, tweeted like
Yeah.
great showcase for Xbox but Gears fans, and then like a little meme, and then Jez said their patience will be rewarded, and then someone said like at the extended showcase, and they're like nah, but they're making cool things apparently. They're cooking. Let them cook. So hopefully it's good. I'm gonna be honest. I want to see another Gears game, but like I'm kind of bummed that their other non-Gears IP stuff got canceled. Like I feel like it would be cool to see these Xbox studios, like the Coalition and 343, do something
No.
that isn't just the one game they were made to make. Like you could try some other shit and then come back. You don't think?
Maybe
No,
maybe
no.
one of those, maybe one of
Man,
those
that's
two.
why Redfall
Maybe
exists.
one of those two. Okay,
Maybe one of those
but
studios.
see that's the problem. With Arcane, they were forced to make a shitty live service game.
No.
You can try other things that you have ideas of making. Like it doesn't. There's two sides to it, right? There's like
Like
we,
Hi-Fi Rush.
yeah, we want to try something we haven't done before, but we have like a cool idea. And then there's fucking Daddy Zenimax is like, you make live service game, and Arcane's like, yeah, but we suck at that, and no one we're hiring wants to work on that, and they're like, too fucking bad. And then it comes out and it's Redfall, which was notably absent from the show, guys. Like, come on, where's they should be teasing the Redfall
Hey.
DLC by now.
There was a big update today for Redfall, man.
Dude, I
Like,
saw that. It
more
actually
vampires.
It actually looked like a legitimate update. Let me see if I can
I'm
find
the-
the patch notes.
I'm the biggest Redfall fan around. All right.
Hey, it's
I'm a
someone's
massive
game of the year,
Redfall
man.
fan.
Never forget that.
All right, so here's the good old patch notes. So they increased enemy AI responsiveness, enemy encounters, vampire combat efficiency, and they made the game look better. Pretty.
Did they mention that they
Oh, the
decreased
game's fixed.
sales to 0?
Woo, they won't get stuck on chairs no more.
They also like increased they also fixed like a bunch of gameplay stuff. Like this is actually a really big patch. Unfortunately, for a game like this, I think this is way too late.
I wonder how many devs died to
Hey,
give us
to be fair, there's only like 20
Many
devs
Bothans
left there because
died.
they all left.
That is so true, Jared. They're fucking running on a legit skeleton crew of people to try
Yeah.
and get this piece of
I
shit
think
out
if
the
I
door.
remember right, they shipped the game and then 70 people left. They said, "We're out. We're done.
Yeah.
We want no part of this."
I just find it so funny, and it makes sense. But like, Arcane was trying to hire employees, and they all came to the interview like wanting to work on immersive sims, and they're out here trying to hire for this like piece of shit live service co-op game, but they can't put that in the job listing because it wasn't announced, and they're like, "Fuck, what do we do?" But I actually saw someone tweet that like it makes sense kind of why shit gets announced so far ahead of time now, because like then you don't run into that problem. If you announce a game like that's way far out, you can like actually hire the proper devs for it if you're a studio that's like switching gears. Whereas if you keep it under wraps like that, then you have a bunch of people that are applying to work at your studio based on like the type of previous game, right? Which could just run into issues.
True.
Like in Redfall's case. But yeah, to wrap it back, I'm sad that there was no Gears. I also like we talked about it earlier with id helping Starfield. I wanted to see id announce something. Like I think it might be too early in the cycle, especially if they helped with Starfield, because Eternal came out in 2020, which would mean like if you're looking at like a 5 or 6 year cycle, it's probably outside the realm of this show, because this one didn't really go past 2024. But I wouldn't have minded a little id teaser, because like are we getting like another Doom game? Or are we gonna get like there's been those rumors that they're gonna do a Quake reboot. Maybe they'll just give us some new shit. Like I feel it just makes like bangers lately. Like I just want to see a new game other than Rage, which kind of sucks. But did it do Rage 2, or was that farmed out to someone else?
I think someone else made Rage 2, but I'm not 100% sure. But I feel like they didn't make it. Like I'm
Is
pretty
Rage
sure they
1
didn't.
any good? Like, should I play Rage 1?
You should check out my video.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
jeez.
Dude,
man.
the mic quality is terrible. Rage 1 is like if you got halfway to making a good game, you stopped, and then you also got halfway to writing a good story, and then you just straight cut it and ended the game.
Oh,
It's
fire, dude! That's
it's
so epic.
it's okay. It's not like a horrible game, but it's not a good game either. And I think Rage 2 is kind of along the same lines. Like it wasn't a bad. Oh, okay. Avalanche Studios worked on Rage 2.
I heard Gearbox is making a new IP.
Are they?
I think I
Yeah.
heard that too.
I did hear Gearbox is making a new IP. I'm really excited for that actually. I hope it'll be something cool.
All right. Real talk. Maybe this is like me being a fucking
Doomer.
doomer.
Let's
I
hear
don't
it.
think
Yeah.
Gearbox makes good games. They lucked into Borderlands. Borderlands 1 and 2 were good, and everything else they've made has been bad.
What else have they made?
Let's pull up the list of Gearbox
Oh,
shit
yeah,
because
pull up
they've
the list.
they have shipped some absolute fucking duds over the years. All right, so they made they did some Half-Life expansions that were pretty good. They did Duke Nukem Forever, which is real good.
Oh.
They did Aliens Colonial Marines, the game where the
Oh.
AI didn't work. They
Oh,
did
yeah.
Battleborn, which was a live service FPS game that shut down within a year or two. And those were like some of their most recent titles, other than Borderlands 3. So,
Ooh,
other than
that's,
Borderlands, they haven't had like a hit in a long time. So,
That's unfortunate.
yeah. So that I don't think they make great games. I think they made decent Borderlands games, and that's about it. They did do the Brothers in Arms games back in the day, which were pretty cool. I don't know, Waffle, those might
Oh,
be
yeah, I
before your
remember
time.
Those definitely sound before my time.
They were like PS2 games, and they were like a
Oh, that
World War
sounds
II game. So
Yeah, those were good games.
Yeah, they were
Never played
cool.
them. I remember them though.
They also did 007 Nightfire like way back in the day. I think, unless they just did the PC port. Never mind, they just did the PC port. They also did the CE PC port, Waffle. There you go.
Remember that? I played
Uh-huh.
that was my introduction to Halo.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, I owe Gearbox. That was actually like one of the first games I ever played on
Dude,
PC.
This explains why he wants a new Gearbox game.
And this
Yep.
might be, something just snapped when I played Halo on PC for the first time.
No, I don't know, man. I just like Gearbox has always been like a very average studio to me. Like they don't make like
They're not a-
horrible shit, but they don't also.
They're not Ubisoft, but you're right.
Are we saying Ubisoft's bad or are we saying Ubisoft's good?
I'm just saying Ubisoft's worse.
I would say Ubisoft has made better games than Gearbox over the years. Like they also make a fuck ton more games. Dude, Ubisoft has made some fucking bangers, just not as of late.
Okay.
Like as of late,
Yeah.
Ubisoft kind of sucks, but like
Yeah, no, as of late, I'm talking about.
oh well, yeah, fair enough. I mean, but
Like Ubisoft dropped bangers back in the day, but like
Yeah.
not anymore.
okay, yeah, fair enough. I feel like that's because Ubisoft, instead of like innovating or making new stuff, they've just milked the same concept for like literally 15 years. They're like, dude, open world games kind of worked. People kind of like towers. What if we just do that in everything? Like, if we and I love it now because they're getting like big IP and they just slap the fucking Ubisoft formula on it. They're like, all right, guys, we got the Avatar IP and the Star Wars IP. What should we do with these games? And someone in the boardroom is like, what if we made an open world game? Holy shit. And everyone in the boardroom's like, dude, oh my god, he's got the fire. And they just they're like, this is amazing.
If I can't jump off a tree in Avatar into some type of hay, it's not a good game.
Right.
Dude, when I was watching the Avatar trailer, at this point, we'll just bring up whatever the fucking game you want, like games you want. We don't have to talk about the Xbox showcase anymore, like specifically, but like
We're off the rails.
the Avatar trailer. Let me pull this shit up. If you have played the recent like Far Cry games where you
It's the
do
exact-
like you look with the binoculars and you ping the
Yeah.
people that you're gonna attack, you do that in the Avatar game. I was like, I was like, dude, I played this 3 days ago. Like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, I couldn't believe how Far Cry the Avatar game looks like. It is actually like kind of weird.
Dude, you know it's bad when you go back and play Far Cry 3 now and the game doesn't feel good because like it's been copied and pasted into every other fucking game that exists.
Yeah, and they
Like, I
even
remember-
they even showed in this trailer like him like blowing up like some type of tower, and I was like, "Yep, that sounds about right."
I think a bunch of the animations looks reused from Watch Dogs 1.
Dude,
I-
all right. Maybe this is like a crazy statement, I thought all of the Watchdog games were good. Like
Really?
I think they
I
were
thought
fun.
The first one was great, but I never played the second one.
The
I
second
didn't
one
get a
was
chance.
good. The second one went like more wacky, but it was still like
I have
really
it.
good.
I got it for free like a long time ago, and I never played it.
It's worth a
on
play, in my
Ubisoft Connect.
opinion. I think the
It's not-
second one suffered from the first one, kind of like billing a false, like selling a false bill of goods, where they did all that shit with like the trailer that was like mega downgraded by the time the game came out. But no, Watch Dogs 2 is like a fun game. I enjoyed it.
Watch Dogs 1 was really good. It was one of the first games I got on with my PS4, and I had a lot of fun playing that. Like, that was just really good.
Yeah, no, I liked Watch Dogs 1 also. I also like that was back when like Ubisoft was still like jamming multiplayer into all their games for no reason. And like the Watch Dogs multiplayer was like it wasn't good, but it was like kind of interesting
It was
cuz
awful.
you had that shit where you had to like go into
You'd, like,
someone's fucking game and you had to
Game
try and
you
hunt them
fucked
down.
up. Yeah, that shit was so funny, dude. That was like, that was so dumb, but it worked so well.
Yeah, it was a good time. You could like cheese the fuck out of that though. Like I don't know, it was also like
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of annoying at the same
So it
time.
was like you could hide in like a radius. So if you did it in like the parking garage, you could
Yeah.
like stay on the top floor of the parking garage, and they would never find you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cheesy. That's for sure. But all right. So yeah, I think the Avatar game looks really mid. Did you guys watch the Ubisoft showcase?
Dead.
I did not.
I just watched a couple trailers from it.
Did you all right. What did you I don't know. The Ubisoft showcase as a whole was just a whole bunch of like mid to me. I don't know. Like the Assassin's Creed game I will say looks like a cool return to Assassin's Creed, like props, but at the same time it looks like Assassin's Creed. They showed like some Division thing, but wasn't that the mobile game that they showed?
It was the mobile game.
Yeah,
the
so,
AAA
like-
one was called Heartland.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't give a
It
fuck
was
about the
supposed to be
mobile
shown.
game. Yeah, Heartland, the extraction shooter, didn't show up. The Star Wars
Is that an
game.
extraction?
Well,
Or
they
is that
said it
supposed to
is.
be-
It was. I thought it was a battle royale at one point, but I think they rebranded it to an extraction shooter.
I think that game's been through development hell. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it launches like broken as shit.
Yeah, I mean, probably will be, but I don't know. I thought the Star Wars game looked like pretty average. I
It
also
just looked like Battlefront 2 to me. Like
The
you
gameplay
pick
a little
the
bit, yeah.
hero. Yeah,
I
it
could
just
see that.
reminded me of that. It's just open world.
yeah.
I could see that being true.
Yeah, you're like you're behind cover in third person. You're like pew pew pew, and then you fucking hide behind the cover again. I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Well, even the running animations are like exactly the
They
same. Like,
did.
it just-
When I first watched it, I was like, "This looks really familiar," and I didn't connect that
Yeah.
in my head until just now. I'm like, "Holy
yeah, it's exactly the
fuck."
same.
That's great because they like their devs had to watch the Battlefront for like hours. They're like, "All right, we need you to replicate this."
Copied and pasted the animation.
Do this, but Star Wars.
Didn't they? There's no way they just copied and pasted it. They had to. I doubt they like spent the time like reanimating the same thing.
Well, they couldn't copy and paste Battlefront. That was a EA game.
I mean, they could just call up EA and say, "Hey, do that shit."
Hey man, Star Wars. Fuck it.
That's true. So someone at Lucasfilms like fucking shipped over the source code. They're like, here you go, buddy.
Yeah, we got the final say in this. Give them all your stuff.
I could like see that unironically happening.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past Ubisoft, man.
All right, since we're on the topic of we'll finish out the two other things in the Ubisoft showcase I care about talking about, and then we can move on unless you guys have other things. But the Prince of Persia game looks fun. Like I realize it's not like the same lines as the recent Prince of Persia stuff, because the recent ones were like third person action games. But this one is cool. It's like a 2D, like, I don't know, kind of seemed from the dude talking like a 2D Metrovania type platformer. Like, it looks pretty fun. Like, I think this is definitely a game like I probably will pick up and play. Like, it's pretty cool. But maybe
Oh.
that's just because I loved Prince of Persia back in the day, so I'm biased.
Check it out, but Rayman Legends died for this.
Hey man,
Fucking
this
dude,
does
bring
look.
back Rayman.
Hey, that was a good game, but
That was
I think
really
this looks
good.
really cool though. Like the animations, like the style of it. I think it just looks like a fun game, right? Not every game needs to be this big AAA crazy budget masterpiece. Like
100%. Yeah.
these little games like this that are probably this will probably be like what 8 hours to play through.
Yeah,
I
I
love
hope
games
so.
like
I
that
hope it's not
'cause
bloated to fuck.
Yeah.
yeah, just sit down, have a really solid, good experience. You know the frame rate's good. You know it's not gonna have bugs in it because these style of games just never have bugs. Like they're just always a smooth gameplay experience. So I'm excited about this, and I'm hoping that if this does good enough, maybe then they'll revisit Prince of Persia again and actually make a 3D style game. But
Yeah.
I did see a lot of people were downvoting this trailer.
Yeah.
They were disliking it. They were complaining about it. Oh, this is trash. The graphics look bad. It's like, come on, guys. Like, do you like fucking video games or not? Like, what is it? Like, come on.
Well, I did
I
see
think-
like an interesting post from someone, and they basically said like on the Nintendo page, like it had like a way better ratio than it did on the PlayStation page. So it's like the type of fan base that was watching it was like Nintendo fans were like, "Oh, looks like a cool game," and then PlayStation kids were like, "This is not a 3D action game. We do not like."
Dislike.
Dude, I unironically think that like the graphical like arms race and the marketing that led to like console wars, my plastic box is better than yours, all that shit has like turned the next generation of like gamers into these like whiny goofballs that will just say anything if a game doesn't look like ultra realistic.
People just fighting for fake internet points.
Yeah, it's so fucked
I mean,
up.
did the old Prince of Persia games look like that? Like have that art style?
Well, so
I
the
think they went for kind of like a stylized, not necessarily stylized, but they didn't go for like direct realism, if I remember correctly. Kind of like maybe like Assassin's Creed in a way, where it's like not directly realism, but like pretty much.
so
I think
Prince
that's
of,
maybe some way to kind of differentiate the two, because basically it was like Assassin's Creed before Assassin's Creed.
so Prince of Persia has been through the fucking ringer. So it originally started out as a 2D platformer like in the 90s, and then it became like a 3D action-y game, but it was like kind of puzzle driven too. Where you had like action sections, you had like puzzle sections, and then like the Sands of Time, which I would assume was probably the peak of Prince of Persia, was like a PS2 game, and you had like this really cool like time travel. You could like slow down time and like rewind time and stuff, which they showed a little bit in this game. It looks like they brought that idea back, and then there was like I think there was like a game or two on the 360 that didn't do as well, and then they kind of just dropped the franchise altogether. But yeah, they started out as like whatever the fuck a game from like the 90s would look like 2D pixel shit, and then it became like realistic-y graphics for the time. So it didn't have like the stylized graphics until this one. But like
Right.
so if anything, this one
I
is
mean,
like
I
more
could
of a
see people
throwback to like the
disliking that,
OGs than the more like recent Prince of Persia.
I think
Right.
the five OG gamers from the 90s would be real upset about that, I think.
So I looked up the like ratios on 4 different YouTube channels
Let's
for
hear
this
it.
trailer.
Let's hear it.
On Nintendo America, it's right down the middle, 12K likes, 12K dislikes.
Oh boy.
Base.
On I guess 3 different channels. On IGN, 362 likes to 1.2 dislikes, 1.2K dislikes.
Wow,
Oh.
wow, that
Ooh.
Yeah.
sucks.
That's
Actually, I feel bad for the devs on that one.
And then on the Ubisoft channel itself, it's 2.2K like to 1.7K dislikes,
Okay.
which
So-
I feel like it might be just more internet overhang, just trying to get like fake internet points rather
Oh,
than
absolutely.
actually.
100%,
'Cause
yeah.
when I saw that, I'm like, that looks cool. It looks
does.
different. It stands out.
Is the hate? Is it about just the graphics? Is that what they're talking about?
no,
I think
it's
it's
like
people
the
have
whole
preconceived
game.
notions. Yeah, people have preconceived notions about a Prince of Persia game is. I think what was the last one, like 20 years ago or something.
Yeah, well, it's not even just that. It's just that they just think side-scrolling games are just inferior to
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
3D
actually
games.
like, I won't lie, it's like a zoomer take to think side scrollers are bad.
I think it
like,
kind of
not
plays into like.
based.
I think it just kind of plays into like a lot of indie games are just kind of like,
Oh, man.
pixel art indie games that are just platformers, that we see all the time. They're not necessarily the highest quality of games, but can be fun.
Some
you
of those
see-
are bangers though. Like I've
Yeah.
played Celeste, Hollow Knight, Ori. Like They all fucking slap.
Ori's really
Mhm.
good. But
Dude,
yeah, so
Ori is so
on
good. Yeah.
on the screen I have the history of Prince of Persia BHB if you want to see like. So this is like the second
I'm
game
looking at it.
at 93.
I remember
so, like,
this. This was hard as fuck.
Oh,
man.
dude, they were ridiculous when I was a kid.
I
Like I
think
remember my
yeah, I
dad
remember
had this
playing
game.
this as a kid. Yeah, it was like
this and that
ridiculously hard.
stupid Lion King game for the Super Nintendo. That was so freaking hard,
Yeah.
too, man. Oh god.
Yeah.
And the Toy
I-
Story game too. The Toy
Yeah.
Story
I
game
mean,
was
I didn't know
difficult.
they did it back
Aladdin
this
was really
far.
difficult but fun.
Yeah, so like this is Prince of Persia 3D, and then Sands of Time. I feel like I would have to check, but I bet this is probably the one that was like rated the best. This was like the first one that was 3D that didn't suck, because like Prince of Persia 3D is pretty jank. Like Sands of Time was really good. Warrior Within was also pretty cool. And then there was like Two Thrones. These all came out like 3 years in a row, and I think these were all received pretty well. And then there was like an OG throwback, which I never played. And then The Fallen King, I think, was on 360. I remember playing this one, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't terrible. And then that's just another like OG throwback. And then The Forgotten Sands, I don't think was like, I don't know if it like was received poorly, or if it was just kind of like people by that point were like whatever. By this point, like I think Assassin's Creed had taken off, and I think Ubisoft saw like a lot more potential in Assassin's Creed than Prince of Persia, because they kind of filled the same. I mean, Assassin's Creed's more assassin-y, but they're like similar-ish, like platformy type parkour-y games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. So, yeah, but so okay. The only other thing that I wanted to talk about from the Ubisoft showcase, and we got to get our shots ready, but we got to talk about it, dude. Guys, are you gonna play Arbiter? Come on,
Oh,
Hell
fuck yeah.
yeah.
this
Yeah, and Killer Instinct, dude. I want to throw it back.
I'm not. So I played Brawlhalla when it came out, and it's like a fun-ish platform fighter. I will 1000% be reinstalling it to play as fucking Arbiter. Like this,
You know,
dude, I'm all on board.
can I just throw a suggestion? If you liked Brawlhalla, there's a game called Fraymakers on Steam,
I have not tried that one.
and it is basically it's like a customizable Smash Bros fighting game with like indie game characters, and you can download characters off of like exact clones of like Smash characters off of like
Really?
the Steam Workshop. Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
That's funny.
It's sick. You should. It's only like $22 Canadian, so probably like what 15, 16
Yeah, that's not too
USD. Yeah.
Why does Brawlhalla Arbiter look more like Arbiter than Halo 5 Arbiter?
bad. Dude,
Dude, 'cause
he
Halo 5
Let's
Arbiter.
not talk about
Dude,
that.
you clearly didn't read the
going on?
books, man. You clearly didn't read the books.
Oh,
Don't you
yeah.
want to know like how he
My
got
bad.
the dude? He got the
Screw
gold chain.
his
He got the
gold armor.
drip.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I'm
got
sure
his
there's a
drip.
lot to it. Yeah,
Ugh.
it's
He-
a whole thing.
the Arbiter in Brawlhalla looks fucking sick.
Oh
He
yeah,
does
he
look pretty
does.
good.
They both do.
Yeah, they do. But
I would
like,
get, they look like those cool like bumper stickers you'd get or something.
Is that a mongoose back there? Can you drive a mongoose?
dude, I don't think you can drive it, but it's in there.
Oh yeah, fuck that. That's sick. I like how they made Arbiter taller than Chief too. That's such a good detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, overall, this is like a really cool crossover. It's very unfortunate that this is like the only Halo thing I can get excited about these
Yeah.
days, but it's cool.
So Brawlhalla Halo tournament?
We might have to do. You have to play. There'll be two sides of the bracket. There's the Master Chief bracket and the Arbiter bracket, and
Yeah.
whatever side you're on, you have to play that character. And then in the finals, we'll have the best Arbiter versus the best Master Chief.
Right.
There you go. That's your next. That's
There
your
you
next
go.
tournament there,
Dude,
Reg.
that's sick, actually.
That would actually be really fun. Supposedly, the Brawlhalla devs are like amazing to work with for tournaments. So
I've heard about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe we hit them up for the old Halo Classic. But okay,
Invasion Brawlhalla Edition. Yeah.
I
fuck
don't
with that.
think there was anything else in the Ubisoft showcase I wanted to talk about. Did you guys have anything?
Dude, I'm so excited for Avatar: The Last. I almost said the last
Doesn't even know the
Airbender.
I was gonna say,
I know
No,
you touched on it earlier, Rash, but did X Defiant look any different there?
Oh, okay.
than-
So X-Defiant actually looks like legit. So it looks the same, but did you see their year one plans?
I didn't.
Dude, they're
Yeah.
going.
Amazing.
They are going
Yeah.
ham. Let me pull them up.
Ham.
So
Hey,
they're
Ubisoft
they're
Mission
dropping
was-
they're dropping the game with like 12 or 14 maps, and then over year one they're dropping 14 more maps, 4 factions, and like multiple
Wow.
multiple
Yeah, 12
game
new
modes.
weapons. I think.
Yeah, 12 new
Mhm.
weapons.
12.
Like if you side by side compare that to COD or something, like it is actually insane. Hold on, I'm seeing if I can pull it up real fast. So
Well,
this
I mean,
is
like the lead producer, Mark Rubin. I mean, he made like Infinite Warfare and other Call of Duty games. So
yeah.
he's going right for it. You know, you look at the gunplay; it looks very like traditional COD gunplay,
Yeah.
and yeah, it seems like they try to bring back a little bit of that Black Ops 4 type of movement with the game, which all the Zoomers I'm sure will certainly enjoy, and then play
Dude,
play it to protest Call of Duty, and then go back right back to Call of Duty.
I don't know
Probably.
what you mean, man. Like the movement in that game is actually not horrible. It just feels a bit like heavy.
It wasn't there, like
And-
some kind of controller input delay that was kind of going on with the whole thing.
I don't play on controller, unfortunately.
Are we talking
I think
about
there
an
was
X
something-
Defiant?
Yeah,
I thought the movement felt good. It was very like
Ooh,
spam slide then jump to slide cancel y, but like I thought
The
it felt
jump
good.
The jump felt like
The,
super.
the jump was pretty dog
heavy.
shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here BHB, just so you're on the same page. So
I'm busy watching 4 ads. It's really triggering me.
that's amazing. So like so year one roadmap, they're dropping 4 seasons. Each season will have a new faction, which basically means like a new character class. Because basically they have these different you played the beta, but like the factions, like they all play the same, but you can play the different characters in them. Kind of, you just pick different abilities. So they're dropping 1 new faction each season, 3 new guns, and 3 new maps every single season.
Dude, it's
So-
crazy. I didn't
wow.
know a year had 4 seasons in it. I thought I had 2.
Oh, I thought I had 1, so I was real shocked when this came out. My brain was blown. I was like, "What? You
That's
can have more
crazy.
than
Now
one
that-
season?"
More than 2 seasons. Fuck, man. That's
I
crazy.
can't as a Halo. I can't as mention a Halo drink.
Yeah,
Now,
sure, for sure.
This is something I can get excited about because
We're-
I already played it and I thought it was fun, and then this roadmap is insane. So yeah,
Yeah, no,
looking
you
forward to that.
X Defiant seems pretty legit. So they're doing the open beta like next week, BHB. So you want to play
Okay.
more?
Didn't X Defiant catch a lot of heat when they first announced it because it was like a Tom Clancy game, but it was supposed to be like radical, bro. Let's go get the
Yeah.
other team.
They've completely deleted Tom Clancy from like the title. Like
yeah,
it's just
I
called
thought
X
that. I saw
Defiant now.
that.
But when it was
Yeah.
originally revealed, it was Tom Clancy's X Defiant, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
It also had this like weird punk rock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like super vibrant colors
it
and
was.
had spray paint
I actually
and
thought it
stuff.
was kind of sick. It reminded me a lot of Knockout City, but
Oh, the
Hmm.
fucking the dodgeball game.
yeah, that
Dude, how's
dude,
that game
Knockout
doing
City was
today?
tight. Funny you mention that.
No, that game was fun. It just it just
was
didn't
fun.
do it. It was fun though.
Just do it. It's too bad. I wish that game did better.
Yeah, but yeah. What other games from like the weekend were you guys excited or disappointed about? I think Payday 3 looks pretty fun. I'm pretty excited
Mhm.
about that. I also read
Still-
somewhere that like a bunch of the devs that worked on Payday 2 have left the company. So hopefully it's good.
Yeah, dude, Still Lakes the Deep. There's not much like we know about it, but it's really intriguing me. It's
Yeah, it
like
looked
one
kind
of
of
the-
like more like a platformer horror game is what the vibe I got from that.
It's more of like a first person kind of. It's kind of like The Forest, but not like a survival game. It takes place in the North Sea, which is like right off the coast of England.
Mm.
So it has a Steam page. That's all we know.
That's all we need. You don't need more than a Steam page.
Anyways,
Okay, let's talk about the real best game from the weekend, Pal World.
Dude,
Did you guys-
I have that on my
Dude,
list.
this
It's
shit's
fucking
crazy.
Pokemon with guns. What is this
Pokemon
game?
with guns.
Yeah.
I mean, what? It's a
I mean,
dream
that's-
game.
That's how they
Really?
preface it, and you saw it. You're like, "Yep, that's what it is."
Like I
This
can't
is
believe
so
this is
funny,
even a
dude.
real video game. It's like a farming simulator. You catch monsters and you
Dude, look at
do
Lugia.
slave owners.
Exactly.
like-
Waffle.
Like it's this is a crazy idea that someone like cooked up in a basement and they're like, you know what? Let's go with this. This seems like a good idea.
Actually,
Let's
like,
hope
it's-
Nintendo doesn't sue us.
It's insane Nintendo hasn't sued them yet.
I mean,
That's
like the crowd reaction when I was in the crowd for the Summer Game Fest showcase, people were just like laughing and just like sound like they were like enjoying watching it just because of how it's Pokemon with guns and just how
No,
over the top it is.
It looks
Like-
super cool.
It's so brutal. It's like, you know what? What if we make Grand Theft Auto a Pokemon game? Like, let's go with that. Like, that seems like a good idea. So
There you
yeah,
go,
I
look,
can't
there's
wait
the
to see
gun.
how this actually turns out.
Oh wow.
It really
Will
looks
this-
like Fortnite.
yeah.
I won't lie.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
it
definitely
does
got
look
that
like
vibe
Fortnite.
when looking at it.
Wow, that's crazy. This is actually a thing.
This is
surprised I
a
haven't
real
heard about it.
game. Like, look at
It's-
the animals
just-
are slaves. You got to
they just-
save them from the factories they work in.
What the fuck?
Dude, hold
Oh
on.
yeah, they get guns too.
He's holding this one as a flamethrower.
Holy shit.
Dude, I can't lie. it actually
These ones are
looks kinda
flying,
sick.
driving. This is, I don't know, man. Like, if you told me this was fake, I would believe you. Like, this shit is bad. This is insane.
It actually looks pretty cool.
Getting carried by the Pokemon and shooting a rocket launcher from the
Yeah.
I think some
Wow.
dev probably just had some extra time with Unreal 5 and was just like, let's just make some something weird and like probably looking over the shoulder while working. Like some producer's like, is that our game? He's like, it can be.
I think it's time I bring it up though. What about Spider-Man, man? Like, what do you guys think?
It
Weather
looks
physics
like
1 out of 10, not gonna play.
it looks like Spider-Man 2. I mean,
It looks like Spider-Man.
it looked
really
like
good.
it looked like the sequel to the first game that a lot of people liked. So I don't know, it looks good. I didn't play the
Can't
first
go.
one.
I mean, can't go wrong with that. Honestly, like some games, like you just want more of the same. You know.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Spider-Man. I 100%ed both games, the first one and the Miles Morales one. So I'm like really hyped for this one, but just sucks it's not launching on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it in
Probably
like
be
2
like a
years.
year wait.
I'm just gonna buy a PlayStation 5 for it or like borrow a friend's one or something. I don't know.
That's fair.
I might have to try to do the same because like after seeing the new Spider-Man game and also after playing some Final Fantasy, I was like, I might
Hell
need to
yeah.
get a PlayStation.
All right, so
Did we have a
Kevin,
release date for Final Fantasy?
I think so. Didn't they, Jared?
What's that?
Does Final Fantasy have a release date?
The 22nd of this month.
22nd. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh wow.
It's
I
soon.
realized
Oh yeah, it was
soon.
all over your
Okay.
stream. How the fuck did I not remember that? So did they force you guys to use the
I'm-
overlay?
For this.
I mean, they probably would have allowed it, but I was just trying to just jump in
Yeah,
and
yeah.
play as
Was it
soon
like-
as possible.
Was it all just set up? You basically just sat down and like signed in.
Yeah, basically I just typed in my Steam key, which I think I forgot to clear it out after leaving. So there's that. But but yeah, like it was like I was like running around filming everything for GameStop Social for the event, just to kind of cover it and stuff like that. Basically, just kind of a lot of B-roll and just kind of showcasing the vibes of the whole place. After all was said and done, our Square Enix contacts like, so I can get you on stream the game for like an hour if you want to do that. I'm like, yeah, because I've been doing nothing but talking and editing and videos for this game for the past like 5 months. So it'd be cool to actually sit down and play it. And when I did, I was actually just kind of blown away. Of just like the visuals of the game are incredible. Like it's vibrant and colorful, but also maintain like a dark tone to the whole thing. So it feels, more mature in a way. The abilities are incredibly satisfying to use. And the way you can just like cycle through your different icon abilities and then use those abilities that all kind of synergize together. The setup that they had on stream, you can like modify the difficulty of the game, kind of think of it like Skulls and Halo drink. But it's like you can make it easier, make it harder, kind of depending how you want to play the game. They had a pretty easy setup for people just to jump in who's like never played, like someone like me who's ever played a Final Fantasy game. But like you you could definitely see like the influence of the Devil May Cry, right? I think they brought in the combat director from that game for
Yep.
Final Fantasy 16, and he's actually like a beast at the game too. Like he showcased like playing against like this super high tier boss, so he's like under gears and stuff like that, beats it the first try, and it's like he's just like full concentrates and just clicking away and just dominates the guy. And then but yeah, like it's super like and then like just like your normal combat maneuvers are just like pressing square a bunch of times. It'll just like seamlessly go in and out of, like these really cool like cut time QTEs and stuff like that. But like it's not like it's distracting from the gameplay because usually like you go into it for like a kill shot for the most of the time, so it feels just awesome. And then like play a little bit of a boss battle between Benedicta and some icon battles as well. The icon battles are super cool. Where basically, you just jump in as like some big. Think of just like those big Godzilla battles, but like in Final Fantasy, essentially. And you just like feel like the weight of just like these giant characters just like fight against each other. It's just like crazy cinematic and just like over the top. I was just blown away from just like the demo that they have that you can play right now. Actually, and it was just it was just awesome.
And the demo, your progress actually carries over to the main game, so
Oh, that's cool.
it's a good way to get a head start.
Mhm.
That's kind of a cool. I feel like most of the time you play a demo and
That
then
is
it's
cool.
just like
Yeah,
they just yeet your progress. You just restart.
yeah. That's a reason I usually avoid demos. So that's cool.
Yeah. All right, Kevin. So you were at the Summer Games Fest. Let's hear, how was it overall? I mean you just talked about it a little bit, but like how was being a like real games, like I mean we've been doing the YouTube thing, but like is that like the first time you've been like a media person at like a big event?
Well, I've been media for some events, but this is like the first time I felt like I was part of like gaming media at an event kind of thing. And it was pretty cool. So, like, obviously, you had the Summer Game Fest presentation. It was just a theater. You sit down, watch it, you leave, kind of thing. That was all right. But then they actually rented out like all these different buildings, like in the center of like downtown LA. It was like a whole block that they basically set up for Summer Games Fest. And there you had like playable demos you can sign up for. I think there were even some like dev talks you can even kind of queue up for as well if you wanted to. They had playable like the new Sonic game, but basically everything that was showcased at Summer Game Fest was playable for gaming media at this at Summer Games Fest, the play days, I guess what they called it, right? And I didn't really get a chance to play anything because a lot of stuff got booked up super quick.
Yeah.
And we were kind of focused more on supporting Square Enix because they flew us out for the event to cover everything that for their separate event that they were doing. So I just kind of ran around, just shot a bunch of B-roll and stuff like that, and didn't really get a chance to play a whole lot. But it was it was pretty cool to be part of just like the whole thing, and just like running into people that I've seen like on YouTube or on Twitter and stuff like that. Like ran the skill up like while in line for the whole thing. I was like, dude, I've been watching your videos since like the Division days and stuff like that. I ran into like Young waiting in line for Cyberpunk and stuff like that. So it was just kind of cool to just like make the connections with people like for that kind of stuff. I did get a chance to play Mortal Kombat 1. And that was a lot of fun. Mortal Kombat 1
good.
It was like really fun to play. Like that, I think like I mean, I'm not like an expert on fighting games, or I think the last time I played Mortal Kombat might have been like Sega Saturn or something like that, back in the 90s. But like from what I played, it was just like a lot of fun. Like the fatalities are there. Like it's over the top, brutal. It'll make you laugh and cringe at the same time. And plus, I got a water bottle the whole thing, so that was cool.
Yeah, the water bottle's sick.
Yeah. But yeah, and I actually got a chance to play Foam Stars as well.
Oh yes, yes. Please tell us about Foam Stars.
Is it Foam Stars or Foam Stars?
Foam Stars.
Foam Stars? Okay.
Because it's a hero shooter game where basically
like Brawl Stars, yeah.
And so it's from what we played. So basically, like everyone just goes like it's Splatoon. That's basically what everyone says. I've never played Splatoon, but I think Splatoon's like the idea is like you paint the world and whoever paints it the most at the end of the time wins.
Yep.
It's not like that at all with Foam Stars. Where Foam Stars, like you shoot foam and it kind of builds up on top of each other, so you can kind of create like different like lines of sight and stuff like that. Because you just get thrown into like an arena, like a small arena that's just flat basically. I think there's like one pedestal that was like in the middle for just some geometry. Um, and basically there's different hero characters that have different abilities for comes like building up foam and stuff like that. And your team, you can surf on top of the foam, your team's foam, and which has like a pretty high speed. So there's a bit of momentum to it as well. So you can zoom around pretty quickly.
Hold
But if you
on,
get caught,
you're telling me it's a movement shooter?
I mean, kind of, yeah. And then like
Oh.
there's some pretty cool movement mechanics to it, but then like if you get hit with the enemy's foam, it slows you down. If you get hit enough, you get put into a ball. If they slam into you, then you get knocked out and you have to respawn back into the game kind of thing. And so there's like it was actually like from what I played, like it was fun, man. We played this game mode where it was like kind of like a VIP game mode where like if you get enough, points in the game, you become the VIP, take the VIP out, you win the round. It's like best of 3 rounds kind of stuff. And yeah, there's like a really just like it's all just like user generated content of like how the foam is used by different players. Like, yeah, so they were talking about like people just built up a really tall tower and just stood up there and just kind of sniped down, or people kind of build up barricades where you can kind of like surf over that and kind of make a cool jump and then attack the enemy players. And then since it's a hero shooter, each character has their own abilities. You have like an ultimate and stuff like that for each character. And I mean, yeah, it was fun. Like people gave it a lot of crap, and I think even our Square Enix contact kind of talked about it's like, yeah, like I think this game needs some help when it comes to like messaging and marketing because a lot of people just want like, yeah, Splatoon, but it definitely didn't. I mean, I've never played Splatoon, but from what I've seen of Splatoon and what I've seen play with Foam Stars, they're like 2 totally different games.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Splatoon at all. Now I will say,
No.
Square Enix fucked them if that's the case, because that trailer did not showcase what you're saying at all. It showcased Splatoon with soapy water. So like the Square Enix contact should have told the dude making the trailer to fucking make the game more clear. But that said, what you're explaining sounds kind of fun. You also said it's PlayStation exclusive, right?
I believe so.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I'll try it.
I won't.
Yeah, but yeah, like well, I mean, that's what kind of things I was talking about earlier about like the presentations. Like I think all we got was a trailer for that game and maybe like a voiceover kind of thing.
It was like a
voiceover while the
cinematic
trailer was
trailer.
going. Yeah, and that's what having like a presentation of people walking on stage to talk about the game briefly really helps with that kind of stuff. Like we have with like Ubisoft and Summer Game Fest. But yeah, Foam Stars, man, don't sleep on Foam Stars.
Yeah,
It was fun.
I might have been sleeping on Foam Stars. I don't think I am anymore.
The
feel
real
like-
question is, can you foam 90s and foam stars?
You probably can.
That's what I need to know.
No, I feel
Dude.
like this is a prime case of why showing gameplay is just better than showing these like overly cinematic trailers that don't explain what the game is. Because like we saw the trailer and we took away most people on the internet took away a totally different like idea of what the game is than what it is. And if instead of the like 1 minute plus like cinematic trailer, they would have done like a regular gameplay trailer with like interspliced gameplay that made it clear what was going on, I feel like people might have still not fucked with it, I don't know, but like at least they would have known what the game was gonna be instead of thinking it was literally PlayStation Splatoon, which is like what the internet has been saying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I never played Splatoon, but you're talking about cranking 90s like in Foam Stars, so you're not like building like you can in Fortnite. It's not that intrusive to the flow of the gameplay, but you can make like crazy mounds and stuff like that. To cut off lines of sight, create jumps over stuff, and and if you connect all your team's foam together, you can like basically do some loops around the arena and just go super fast and have some really fun movement. So. Yeah, like I said, don't sleep on Foam Stars. I might make a video on this. My second challenge just be like, this is why you should be interested, rather than saying
Kevin,
it
you
just
should
looks
have
like
you should have
Splatoon.
made that video right when you got home. Like everything you're wrong about Foam Stars, but you've let the cat out of the bag. You missed the mark, dude.
No, this
Now-
is the BXR podcast exclusive content.
Now BHB is gonna make that video tomorrow. It's gonna be out right away. He hasn't even played the game, but he's gonna make the video. No,
Yeah, I'm just taking notes right now, writing it down.
no, I mean that sounds pretty cool. It sounds like the Summer Games Fest was a lot of fun. So I feel like I don't know if I'd want to like frequently go to stuff like that. It seems like it would be like really overwhelming. But I feel like one thing I'd want to do is just like at least once or twice go to one of those things, like just to experience it. But Kevin's got the hookup now with his new career, dude. He's games media these days, or games journalism. So
Yeah, we got some
he's
pretty
got-
cool stuff. We got some pretty cool stuff lined up for GameStop Social. Like we got like interviews with like the voice actors from Final Fantasy as well. Interview with the combat director. Interview with the composer as well lined up. So got some cool stuff. And by the way, the voice actors for the at least the four that brought out couldn't be 80 nicer people like super nice. Funny thing was that we were kind of waiting in the hotel lobby area to go out to the Summer Game Fest show for the theater showing. We're just kind of waiting in the lobby, waiting for our car to come in because it was all valet kind of thing. And we're just kind of chilling. And then guy to the right goes like, "Hey, are you from GameStop?" And we're like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hi, I'm Ben Starr. I voice Clive in Final Fantasy." And so we got to just kind of chatting about that. And he's like a super nice dude, very much a gamer. He was talking about like how Final Fantasy like 7 like changed his mind when it came to gaming as a whole. And also kind of dished a little bit back and forth with us about Resident Evil 4 and that remake. And he's like, "Oh, I love this game so much," kind of stuff. And after we're done talking, we're about to head out. And he's like, "So you guys mind if I get a lift?" We're like, "Yeah, we got space. We have an SUV." So we're like, "Yeah, sure." And so then we just gave the lead actor of Final Fantasy a ride to Summer Game Fest to check out the show and stuff like that. But yeah, Ben was super nice. Nina, who voices Benedicta, was super nice as well. Ralph, who does Sidonis or Sidious or Sidonis, I think it's the character's name. They call him Sid in the game, anyways. And then David, who does Barnabas, I believe is the character's name. But it was weird though because I met Nina first, who's again super nice person, but her character is just so evil and angry that like it's just like hearing her voice like being so mean and angry when first meeting her as like the person. It was just like such a weird contrast, but really cool to see like how the whole game turned out. It was a crazy experience.
Yeah, no, it
Awesome.
sounds super cool. What were you gonna say, Waffle?
I said that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, sounds like a good old time. Well, we are pushing 2 hours, so we're gonna hit. There's a bunch of shit we didn't talk about, obviously, but this is now the rapid fire. Everyone gets. You gonna mention one more game from the past weekend of showcases you want to talk about real fast. So if you don't have a game, you can do a pass. But Waffle, you first.
Actually, I've never played an Alan Wake game before, and the new one looks really cool. I'm gonna check that out. It looks cool. That's all I really have to say. Like, I've never even played the first one. I don't even know what the first one's about.
Interesting thing about Alan Wake 2. Also, the dev said it will be the best looking game this year.
What?
So,
I don't
missed that.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
Uh,
Oh,
So that
geez.
should be interesting. So we'll see how that turns out.
I missed that. The first Alan Wake was like I feel like it had good reception, but didn't necessarily like it wasn't like massively successful. But
I don't know why. I thought it was like a Heavy Rain kind of game. I don't know if you guys have played that.
no, it's more of
I
like an
know.
actual video game because Heavy Rain's more
Mm.
of like a
Like a movie
experience
kinda
type
game.
deal.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's a weird
Alan
game.
Wake has gameplay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
mean,
was kind of bummed with the gameplay that the extended gameplay that they showed was really actually just like the kind of downtimes between the highlights and the trailer.
oh,
So I was kind of hoping to see something else when it came to
That's
the
funny.
showcase of Alan Wake. But
Oh,
I mean, the game does look good.
It
Best looking
is it
game
the
though.
best?
That's a
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's a bold statement.
Yeah, that is a really bold statement.
Yeah.
But-
All right.
I mean, the environments didn't look too big, so they could probably bump up the fidelity quite a bit, at least from what
Yeah.
they showcased.
And obviously from trailers and like whatever, it's hard to tell how good a game's actually gonna look till
Mm.
it's released.
Yeah.
Jared, game.
Probably Clockwork Revolution.
Dude, I was gonna
That
mention that
BioShock
one.
Steampunk. I stole it.
Oh yeah.
No, that's
But
okay.
no,
it
that-
looks good.
That game just looks really cool, and it's by what the hell are they called? An Exile or whatever.
Yeah,
the ones
the
that make
people who-
Wasteland
yep.
3. Yep, which they're really good devs. So I'm excited to see what they do with their first ever first person shooter. So hopefully it turns out good whenever it comes out in the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's the thing is their trailer said like it's coming out when it comes out or some shit or like so that who knows when the fuck that's coming out. But it looks cool. It looks really cool. which is their whole company like started off a Kickstarter shit, didn't it? Because they kickstart the first like the second Wasteland or something to bring it back because that was like a super old IP, and then now they've just like gone on to just being successful, which is cool.
Yeah.
Kevin,
And they're also
oh
sorry,
no,
I was-
you,
I was
no,
gonna
you
say-
go.
aren't they also the original ones that made Fallout 1 and 2,
Yeah,
right?
Well,
yeah, that's what I
I
thought.
think like the creators were right, the people
Yeah,
who
the
like made the
creators.
studio. Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. They also made they've also made the Bard's Tale games, which I think people like.
Yep.
But all right, Kevin, game.
One thing that kind of sparked my interest a little bit, 33 Immortals
Yeah.
from Xbox. Just because it's 33 player co-op,
Yeah.
which I thought was really interesting kind of bit of thing because I guess I'm getting more and more into just like the whole cooperative PvE experience kind of thing rather than trying to crank on kids in 90s. But
No,
I think
it-
like just like the idea of it, I just thought was really cool. That's kind of the main thing I get. I kind of what I go for when it comes to watching this stuff is just like where is like the game industry going? Where are some kind of cool new things that people are cooking up that either small time devs or the big AAA stuff. And I think just like something like that is rather interesting to be able to pull off.
I think it's a very cool spin on the roguelike genre. Because
Mhm.
like normally these are like single player or like 2, 3, 4 player co-op. So this is like, we're going ham. Because like, I don't know, there'd be a lot of cool stuff. They actually released like, if you want to see more of it, they did like, there's a YouTube video. It's like 10 minutes of gameplay. It looks pretty cool. Interested. I think this is like the type of game that's like really convenient that it's on Game Pass. Because like, I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
want to buy this, but if it's on Game Pass and like two of you are like, hey, let's try this, I'd be like, sure, fuck it, why not? And if I feel like it needs matchmaking. Hopefully it has matchmaking because I'm not going to gather.
Oh my
a group
god.
of- I'm not gathering 30 people to play this, but if it has matchmaking and it hopefully like, I don't know if it would have voice comms. Hopefully there's a way to at least like text chat or something, but no, it looks interesting. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah. I was like, honestly, I don't really see myself playing the game, but I just like the idea of what they were able to pull off.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to see something like that in other games as well.
For sure. It's kind of like they took the idea of like an MMO raid and like kind of
you're kinda cutting out
rehashed
there?
it a little bit. Oh,
His
Kevin's
stream's
gone.
buffering.
The camera's dead. Oh, my internet's dead. Can you guys hear me? Hello.
Are you good? We good?
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
you're
Robot.
Rash is dying.
Oh no.
Robots.
Oh no.
Oh, it's over.
It's over. Stream, it's dying. We're dying. Oh no.
The Comcast Taste gun in full
Dude,
effect.
to
my
Nebraska.
internet is shit in the bed.
Quick, talk about Halo while he's gone.
I've already had so much to drink already. Come on, easy. Yeah.
Is
mean,
he
like-
here? Or is he? did
I
he
can
die?
hear you guys.
He
Can you
might-
hear me?
I can hear, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah,
The
the
stream's
stream
still buffering
died
for me.
completely. Hold on, I'm trying to turn
Aw,
it back
son
on.
of
All
a-
right, I got it back. I got it back. Don't worry, it's
Uh,
back.
Oh,
Hey,
saved.
hey,
saved.
while we're here though, I posted the tweet for you guys of the director from Remedy saying that about Alan Wake 2.
Oh,
That's funny.
perfect. That's great. Let's check. Let's
Best
look at
looking
this.
game in 2023. Wow.
That's ballsy
Old
because this is
flame.
the kind of shit that's just gonna get memed.
Yeah, I would be on that 100%.
Dangerous to go down that road.
Yeah, that's like the Xbox tweet that Starfield will be like the least buggy Bethesda game ever. It's like I hope so, but also if this shit's buggy, people are gonna flame you. So like, whew.
Oh,
Did you
gosh.
see the Xbox tweet that was like, 60 FPS will be the standard on Xbox? From like
Oh,
Aaron Gabriel
yeah,
from
dude, that
2020.
gets brought up every time. It's great.
Oh, I get so sick of seeing that, man.
Waffle looks extra toasty tonight.
He jump scared me for a second because I'm just super tired and I thought my camera was on for a minute.
Waffle didn't even
I was
send the
like, no
link, but
way.
I just found it on my own. I just pulled it up, dude. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
he's on the stream, baby. But all right, BHB, one game from the weekend you're excited about.
I guess it's got to be X Defiant. I mean, it's a game I've played. I enjoyed. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just I thought it was a fun shooter, and that was pretty much it. And then you showed me their roadmap for their first year, which is a lot of content. So yeah, I think it's fair to be excited about that. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. All right, so I'm going to cheat because I'm the host, but I'm going to bring up one game because I feel like we should mention it that I don't care about. Well, not that I don't care about it, but it's not like my thing. But there's a new Sonic game coming out. Did you guys see that? Does anyone care about
Oh
it?
yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
check it out.
It looks
yeah.
fun.
I
It
Yeah.
has
did
co-op.
see it.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
Looks-
feel
Yeah,
like
they're-
Sonic fans have been suffering, so I think this is good, right?
I
Figures you
fuck
would
if I
mention
know,
Sonic
but
with the Sonic figures behind you.
dude, I watched the Sonic movies with my kids, and then we found those, and then they like leave them in the basement, so I use them as a stream backdrop because why not?
Nice.
Oh, that's
It's like you get
Actually,
you
like just get Master Chief out of there and just
just
keep
get
the
more
Sonic.
Sonic characters.
yeah.
Next stream, Master Chief's gone. He's just been replaced by like the Starfield default character.
Yeah.
I think
But-
you get put some like Nintendo figures in there. Get some
I could get
Amiibos
I
or
could get a
something.
Mario or a little Yoshi. I think a little Yoshi
Dude,
would go
I-
high,
Yoshi.
go fire.
Yeah, I fucking love Yoshi. I miss the Yoshi games. They need to make another one.
That's true. When was the last time Yoshi got like an actual game?
I don't know.
I think it was that Yoshi Yarn game.
Yoshi's
oh,
Island.
fuck,
For
I
the,
forgot about that.
dude, Yoshi's Island for the DS was so good.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's a banger.
All right. Well, last game that I actually thought looked cool. Space Marine 2, dude. It's like 3-player co-op. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. I thought the first one was pretty fun. I don't know if this one will be any good, but I'm hoping it is. I think it hopefully is pretty cool. It looks very much like the first game, so I don't know what has been happening with this game because the first one came out like on the 360, like it's old, but this one just looks like the same thing but newer, which could be really fun. I mean, it's basically just like a third person, like kill a bunch of Warhammer enemies. I don't know enough about Warhammer to tell you, but like it was kind of like a cover shooter, but it had like melee combos and stuff you could do with your little like whatever the fuck that's called in Warhammer, the
Chainsword.
the chainsword. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I thought the first game was very fun, so I'm excited about this one. I think it comes out this year. I don't remember. Maybe it doesn't.
That's
so
cool.
I could be
I've
completely.
never
lying
I've never
about that.
done anything Warhammer related.
I
So-
haven't either until
Mm.
Bolt Gun, but like Bolt Gun is so good.
Yeah, I need to finish Bolt Gun. But
I need to finish it too, but like I just got a bunch of new guns and shit.
Yeah.
The game's actually way longer than I thought.
No, that game's really good. I thought Warhammer's such like an interesting IP because they basically just give the IP to whoever the fuck wants it.
Yeah.
So there were some dog shit Warhammer games. Like if you go on Steam, I remember this one game that's basically like Warhammer chess, and it's like fucking
Sounds
terrible.
so sad.
It's so terrible. But then there's like really good Warhammer games too. Obviously, like Vermintide was good. The Total War Warhammer games obviously really good. So yeah, it's like a mixed bag. It's like the polar opposite of our favorite IP that only gets one game every 10 years. Warhammer gets like 10 games a year. So, all right. Well, I think that kind of wraps up the podcast. If you're still listening, I have some requests of you. One, the BXR podcast now has its own slew of social media. So you need to follow us. Make sure you follow on any platform that you use. I'm not going to make you download apps that you don't use. But if you use Twitter, get on over there. If you use Instagram, TikTok, follow us everywhere. It now has its own YouTube page also. So if you just want to see clips and the podcast every couple of weeks, you can now subscribe specifically to that YouTube, which is very fancy. And make sure you also still, if you haven't yet, I don't think there's very many reviews, so I don't think you have. But if you could go on podcast platforms, which is linked on the Twitter, and just give it a nice little 5-star, say it's your favorite gaming podcast. It helps the boys, because I don't know how else you're supposed to promote like podcast platform stuff. So I think that will do it for the podcast. I don't know. Next one will be in a couple weeks. I don't know what the topic will be exactly. I might line up an interview with a dev, but we will see if that works because he is in a different time zone. So I don't know. But if it works, we might do like a little 50-50 podcast where like maybe some of us get on with him and then I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyways, that is going to do it for the podcast. Where can the people find you guys? What are you up to these days? Anyone, you can just all talk over each other at the same time. Go.
I'm doing fuck all.
Perfect.
I'll be reviewing Final Fantasy 16 next, so that should.
Are you gonna get a review copy for that?
I wish I could get a review copy, Kev. You know, where is it at?
I wish I could get a review copy.
God dang it, they're holding out on us.
Oh man. Or either a PlayStation 5 as well.
All right. Kevin, what are you up to?
You know, same old. Just, Kevin Coolx on YouTube, Kevin Coolx Halo on Twitter. I've been trying to test out some different things with Kevin Coolx Gaming on YouTube as well on the second channel, doing some kind of gameplay stuff. I think I might also kind of use that as maybe a way to kind of test out different types of content that I would want to do and see if it's sustainable for me. Because running one channel while having a full-time job is already enough, but trying to do two while still being relevant in the YouTube algorithm, I don't know. We'll see. But trying out that a little bit and slowly contemplating more and more the logistics of switching over to YouTube for streaming. But we'll see what happens with that.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that at all, but I feel like we've been
Yeah.
going a while. The Twitch is imploding.
Yeah.
Chat. If you want to make sure you catch all of the podcast live streams, your best bet is just making sure you sub to the YouTube channel, because I think I will start streaming the podcast on there at the very least, like a dual stream. But yeah, Twitch is imploding. I don't know what the fuck Twitch is doing, but at the same time, I don't know how. Like, I still like. I'm not like skeptical of Kick because of like the people or like the TOS. I just don't know if I foresee Kick actually overtaking Twitch, because at the end of the day, yeah, they pay their creators more, but it's still just shitty Twitch. Like, it's just like a ripped UI. It looks just like Twitch but with less features. So like, I don't know.
That is true, but it might be worth the risk. And then there was that talk of like the hourly pay, which would obviously vary. I feel like it is worth the risk. There's no guarantee of anything, you know. It could suffer the same fate as Mixer, but
Well,
Yeah.
and see, that's the thing. That's the question. Will the viewers actually move with the creators?
Yeah,
Because it didn't work with Mixer. Shroud's audience, Ninja's audience, they said, well, see ya. We'll just watch someone else on Twitch. So
yeah.
I feel like
But
right
yeah,
now
there's-
Kick is really benefiting from like the like mid to small streamers that are all hopping over because they see it as like a new place to grow. / obviously you get a better cut, which is very nice when someone subs and you get more money. But like, I mean, Ninja was streaming on it. Obviously, that's pretty big. And there's been like the Twitch outcasts that stream on it, like Aiden Ross and like Ice Poseidon and like those types of people that have been pushed out from Twitch. But like, I don't know. Like you said, once we start seeing more and more of these people move over, like right now, like the Kick viewership is just, I mean, it's still like nothing compared to Twitch, right? So
Yeah.
will that like at some point, if Twitch keeps dying, like that has to pass it? But like, do I really see Kick overtaking it, or does like live streaming as a whole just kind of tank and like maybe people just watch some like YouTube live streams or like some TikTok live streams when they're like, because the one thing that like Kick doesn't solve in the slightest is like Twitch has been struggling for years because like long form unedited streams of people playing a video game is very hard to like browse or find new people to watch, right? Like I go on Twitch and I watch people I already follow, but like very rarely do I like stumble into someone new. I only stumble into new Twitch streams from like people who make cool YouTube videos, people who make
Yep.
TikToks. And so like Kick doesn't solve any of those problems. So like Twitch already hasn't, like Twitch stagnated years ago. Like I don't see how Kick solves that. To me, the only thing that it maybe does is like take some of Twitch's viewership, but like it's not, I don't see a world where Kick ends up bigger than Twitch, right? So then at that point, like probably should just be on YouTube, right? Like YouTube is
yeah.
is the platform. So it's like I don't know where streaming is going. The one thing that hasn't moved at all is like events, right? Right now we're seeing small streamers move to Kick, but like esports events are all still Twitch and YouTube. Creator events are all still Twitch and Twitch mostly, not YouTube. So like, is that stuff going to move to Kick? Is Kick going to start funding that stuff? Like, we haven't seen any of that. And until you start to see more of that, I don't think you'll see a lot of those creators move over, because like you want to be included in like the Twitch Creator Cup or like the Twitch Rivals or like, you know, that kind of crap that's on Twitch that's like really fun as a creator. Like Kick doesn't, I haven't seen any of that on Kick. So for me, Kick currently like is just, hey, I'm gonna go stream and there's no TOS, so maybe I'll say some shit. I'm just kidding, but like
Stream porn to minors.
you can do whatever the fuck you want on Kick. Like I don't know. Which like to be fair, the people who say like I'm never using Kick because of Aiden Ross, it's like, dude, I could find like 20 people on Twitch that are pieces of shit. So like, to me, that's kind of like a moot point. Like, it's not like the people on Twitch are amazing, or like there's some pieces of shit on YouTube, but I still use the platform, right? So I don't know. Or like TikTok is a fucking cesspool, but I still scroll through. I still scroll. Like, dude, my TikTok For You page, like, or like, because TikTok like pushes streaming a little bit, but TikTok lives are so fucked. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever browsed through the live section, but like, I'll get like gaming, and then you'll get like some just fucked shit. You're like, huh, all right.
It's like reminds me of going through like those video chats where you just kind of scroll to the next person kind of thing. You're like, you might get like Omega, you might get a normal person, you might get like a weird person, you might get a dick, you know.
Yeah, there's some weird
open
shit.
TikTok in public. Like the For You page is just fucked.
Yeah,
I don't think like I opened it on the bus one time and like questionable shit came up. I don't want to be seen looking at that, you know.
Right. Why are some people trying to make TikTok streaming a thing? Like, who the fuck wants to sit there and watch a stream on TikTok? I don't understand that.
So
Like,
I
I get
think-
multi-streaming to it just for the exposure, you know, for the hell of it. But some people act like, oh, that's the way to go. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's TikTok. Like, no.
TikTok, like the live streams, they can get like some nutty viewership because the people who use like the algorithm, and there's a lot of users. But yeah, like I've never watched a live stream on TikTok for more than like a minute.
Yes.
Like you hit it on your For You page, you're like, oh, like I saw a dude playing Mario Baseball the other day, like Mario Superstars or whatever that game was called. I was like, oh, cool. And then I scrolled past.
Anyway.
I don't know if it was like, I don't know if it was real or not, but I saw like footage of some like dude live streaming from Ukraine or some shit.
Oh,
Like
you can find some weird stuff on
there's some
TikTok
fucked
live.
up shit there.
Yeah. So
I wish YouTube was like the best place to stream, because then you have everything in one place, right?
yeah.
Your YouTube, you know,
Oh,
your
that'd be
long form
nice.
content,
I
your short
love
form
monopolies.
content, and the live streams. Like, ideally, I wish, you know, that was the best way to do everything. So
I feel like if YouTube cared, they would be the premier platform for everything. But I think it's painfully obvious that YouTube has made the decision that like they will have live streaming as an option, but it will never be the focus. Like they are perfectly content pushing long and short form, because for whatever reason they must not see it worthwhile to dump a bunch of money into live streaming, because otherwise they would have implemented these features years ago, and they would have probably killed Twitch like 4 years ago, because it's not like Twitch has done shit recently. So it's like people for years have been like, when is YouTube going to implement X, Y, and Z? They could kill Twitch. And meanwhile, YouTube like once a year implements like a Twitch feature from 10 years ago. And you're like,
yeah,
nice. Good job, YouTube.
I mean, literally the only thing Twitch has on YouTube, I think, at this point when it comes to streaming or just content in general, or just more on the streaming side of things, is like the community interactions you can do in chat, like the different kind of gifs and
There's chat, there's channel points, there's like a lot of built-in stuff. And it's my understanding too is the way YouTube streaming works is like on Twitch, not that people do it anymore because you can just do channel points, but you used to be able to use those bots that would like use the API or whatever to do it. But my understanding is even that shit's like really hard with the way that YouTube does streaming. So you can't even like make your own channel point systems. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, there's like the community and kind of the interaction aspect to it. And I still feel like I know people say if you're sub to people, it tells you when they're streaming, but like, maybe it's like a mindset, but I never open YouTube looking for live streams. I purely just
Yeah.
open up my page and look for cool videos. So like if it
Yeah.
had a separate page where I could go look for streams when I was in the mood to watch a stream, I would. But like right now, unless a stream just fucking randomly ends up on my homepage, I never watch a YouTube stream. Or like I see someone tweet that they're
Yeah.
streaming on YouTube, maybe I'll open it. Or like if there's an esports event and I'm trying to watch it on my TV because my TV doesn't have a Twitch app, I'll open a YouTube live stream, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Does,
I'm
uh,
not,
can
I'm
you-
not opening up YouTube looking for a live stream. You know.
You can
So-
schedule live streams to your subscribers like you can with
You can.
Premiere,
Yeah, and it'll tell them.
them.
It'll pull up in like their sub box and stuff. But like, I don't know that there's that whole aspect too, where like, I don't know. It's like it's cool. It has an algorithm, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I already feel like I can't fucking make non-Halo videos. Like, I don't want to be forced to only stream Halo too. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
on Twitch, you just do whatever the fuck
Yeah.
you want. Like sometimes people show up, sometimes they don't. But like at the end of the day, like nothing's pushing your stream. It's just you.
Right. And it's not like streaming on YouTube's horrible. I mean, the rewind
No,
that
it
you can
works.
do, that's
The
awesome.
rewind is sick. That is very.
You know,
nice.
it saves it as
Wait, what-
a VOD right on your channel.
what's the rewind?
It's-
You can just like when you're watching a live stream on YouTube, if like
Oh,
you want
okay.
to go back like 3 seconds or like 10 seconds, you just click the bar, and then you can like either watch like, because like earlier, Waffle, you're like, oh, you're behind. It was because I had paused the stream for like a second to like do something, and then I restarted it, so I was like a few seconds behind. And then you can like just click it, and you can come back to the live, or you can like you could skip a few seconds here and there to catch up. But so
Mhm.
that is very nice, because like with Twitch, if you wanted to go back, if you missed something, you have to like go to their page, hope that they have VODs public, click the VOD, and then like
Yep.
it's like a huge pain. Then scroll to where you were, so it's like
Mhm.
it's not nearly as smooth. YouTube
Yeah.
also just recently implemented, not only can you stream at like way higher bit rates on YouTube, they implemented if
Oh,
you
yeah.
have like a 40 series card, that different encoder, which is like way higher quality than the stuff you can use on Twitch. So like tech wise, YouTube does have like pros over
Mhm.
Twitch for sure.
Yeah, it's just like Twitch is just the big streaming platform. It's just hard to get people away from that. Like even if there is a better platform, it would still be hard to get people to switch over just because Twitch
Mhm.
is already established and people know it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you
where
kind
all
of
the
have to just like
streaming
rely on the
streams are.
algorithm to help you out with it because like no one searches for streams on YouTube like you search for streams on Twitch. But then you
Yeah.
do have the algorithm you can rely on where maybe people like watching VODs, and that VOD just stays up there. So when you're not streaming, you can still have people check out your live stream content. And you
I
got
feel
the
like that
long form
works.
videos and then you have shorts.
I feel like that works if you're streaming like events or like something that like, but dude, like how many times in your life have you ever wanted to watch the VOD of like someone you follow on Twitch playing fucking like any video game for 5
Mhm.
hours? Like you watch it when they're live to like interact with chat or read the chat or lurk, but like I'm not trying to. No offense to you, Kevin, but like I'll tune into your live stream, but like I'm not tuning into your VOD, man. Like it defeats the whole
No,
purpose.
I mean, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. So like I get your point, and I think that works really well for like podcasts or like an esports event where yeah, I will go watch a VOD. Or like if you hosted like any type of thing that's like eventful, like, oh, this is the I don't know, like run like a Twitch creator, well, YouTube creator cup or something like that kind of stuff. The VODs are really cool because then you actually get like ad rev and stuff off of that, which like on Twitch,
Mhm.
once it's not live, you are making zero money. So that kind of stuff on YouTube is very nice, but at the same time, like I think it's rare that how often on your like homepage do you see a non-live streamed VOD pushed to you? I think I could tell you on like one hand, and it was usually like a game showcase. You know what I mean? Like the Xbox showcase, like that popped up on my homepage because obviously, like I fucking watched the Xbox stuff.
Yeah, I think usually it comes up with like up next, and it just kind of auto plays into the next
Oh,
thing. Sometimes
yeah,
we'll get a live
you-
stream with that.
You can get auto played if you're like watching someone's video. It'll like auto play you into a live
Yeah.
stream for sure. That happens.
like,
I've had that happen.
well,
Yeah.
There's a couple of DMZ live streamer or players I watch, and they actually utilize it really well, where they live stream the game, and then take clips from
Mhm.
that live stream, make that into like a more like 8-10 minute long video kind of thing, so that you're kind of reusing the content for the long form, which was real, like most people are not going to catch that live stream moment.
Yeah.
And you can chop that into shorts, probably most of it all natively within YouTube. I'm sure for a lot of people, probably be good enough. But yeah, I don't know, like it's a different way of gaining discoverability and different way of interactions. But it's more just like, do you find it more beneficial for yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think
Yeah.
that wraps that topic up for now. At least we'll see as Twitch continues to be stupid. So maybe by next week, Kick will overtake them. Like you never know with Twitch.
Mhm.
I think that'll do it for the podcast. Like I said, we'll be back in a couple weeks. Yeah, catch us everywhere. And I think with that, I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. And we will see you all next time.